All right, everyone.
5.
We're in a place. Well, we have a lot of problems right now in the current state of the party. Our location and the situation atop the staircase that led us here is something, well, that's a problem for future us, I suppose.
Well, to be fair, they don't necessarily know.
Oh, right, Kalidar says. Right, the guards. I forgot about the guards.
We got past those guys.
No, we murdered one of them.
I mean, worse
And the
comes
other
to
two are
worse.
stuck in the jail cells.
Yeah,
The other
fine.
50 upstairs.
Hey, we could be anywhere in the city as far
They
as
don't
they
know
know.
we're here. It's fine. We were invisible when we got
I
here.
mean, the only reason they'd know we were here if they stepped on Kalidar's happy spike trap, and they'd have to go way
You
out of their
convinced them
way.
not to do that. It's inside the tower. It wasn't one in the. You convinced them not to put them on the door. It's
I
like
did,
a
yeah, that's
giant.
true.
We
It's
went
true.
this way
It's true.
banner.
Yeah.
Which
there was good reasonings, and so yeah.
probably wise.
We could be anywhere.
But where we are is deep within the bowels of
That's
the
gross.
prison beneath the Hermaean city of promise.
Just past the dog kennel.
At least we're not deep within the bowels of Hermea.
It's an interesting place. We were confronted with a group of the Citadel guards, holding only to Menkare himself, who we had to fight our way past. And I mean, to your credit, you only killed one of them, and just utilize the fact that you are in a literal prison to deal with the other two.
I didn't
Baby.
expect the other two to surrender, to be perfectly honest with you.
You kept getting thrown in baby jail over and over again. You get
Yeah,
bored and
they
surrender
ran
too.
like that. The woman ran at you and got teleported into prison 3 times. I mean, at that point, it's just pattern recognition. Like,
They can learn.
well, they watched you.
I'm the jailer now.
Do not pass go.
Well, they watched you just slaughter another one of them in the middle of
They couldn't
the
see
hallway.
it.
No, probably not really.
You're
Honestly, they could
fine.
hear it,
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
but maybe not see it directly. And one of them got put in magical wall of force jail. So I mean, you live
The other one
there.
caught some hands.
Cut a lot of hands.
Yeah.
Cut a lot of very aggressive
Yeah.
bladed hands. But you have come down here seeking Xerxes, a name that only, I believe, one of you had even really heard before coming to the City of Promise. Now, an old Ekajai, an emissary from the depths of the Mongi jungle who came before Nikita, who you had met when you went down to the Leopard Clan. What might actually be close to an in-game year ago at this point, and an actual couple of years ago.
I just think of her now as the home wrecker to a home that is dead.
Resume has matured over the course of this campaign. We've grown up.
Home that is dead or a home that was never built?
Dead. And I'm like 20, so grown up is sort of relative. I started at 19, now I'm 20.
That's a rough year.
That's what I mean.
Honestly, probably the
And I
roughest year.
Yeah, that'll shape your personality going forward. I mean, I can't really blame her at this point. She's seen nearly everyone she loves die.
I mean, I'm bitter.
I can't blame her, honestly. I really can't. But as we come back in, the group of you would move past the pack of guards and stepping over the corpse of the one in this narrow hall between the cells. You would take in a brief moment to attempt to offer freedom to the prisoners within. You have the keys from this fallen guard. You open their cells. Not a one took you up on the offer. So
We're renaming Promise Stockholm.
Oh, Roshin's calling this section of the prison the dog kennels in her mind now.
we moved on.
So we just need some kibble and little pets. They'll come out.
As we begin today's adventure, you would come to the first corner of this hall and this singular hallway of prison cells down either side. Well lit and well kept enough. This is not the dirty and dingy kind of like prison beneath the guardhouse in a small town. Like, they are well kept, and the prisoners do all seem well cared for. They don't look malnourished. They don't look to be in abysmal health. They are not terribly responsive in most cases. They seem to be a little bit frightened at the moment.
And every cell is full, yeah? Every cell has a person in it?
Every cell you've passed so far is a person, yes. And you turn a corner into a second hall, identical. stretching forward again past another set of dozens of cells on either side. As you walk here, you can see as you pass the age of the average age, at least, of the prisoners inside decreasing. It seems very clear that they have literally just filled this from the front as needed. And to those of you with any proper training in crafting who are paying attention, it's not really hidden. This wing of the prison even seems to be newer than the one before it. An extension that was built on when it turned out they needed perhaps more than they originally had believed. And as you walk down this hallway, you pass a pair of cells holding what appear to be little more than children.
Oh.
Two girls, maybe 16, 17 years old, kept opposite from each other.
Do we remember how old what was the age of the...
16.
So, okay. Glad you knew what I was talking about, because I did.
I got you going for it. What age of graduation when they take the contract?
Exactly.
One of them looks near as much as any other in these cells. They are back in the corner. Obviously, the sounds of the battle have rung down this hall. It is a single hall. It transmits sound pretty well. Literally just kind of pulled up, holding her pillow in front of her, like it's going to do anything if you chose to come in. The girl on the other side, however, is the first prisoner that you have seen that is up at the bars. And this would catch everyone's attention, whether you're seeking or not, because you would see the fingers on the bars of the cell here before you even came into the view of the cell itself. She is relatively small, looking barely to clear 5 feet. Very straight black shoulder length hair, pretty heavy, angular Chilaxian features. Her mouth is a bit agape and her eyes confused, but she looks at the group of you, blood spattered as you are. Those, well, who would be blood spattered? Roshin and Kaladar, blood spattered as you are.
Yeah, weren't you standing underneath me when I was...
Yeah, probably Raz also. You were between his legs as he was throwing some hands.
Prestidigitation, I'm never blood spattered.
Right? Yeah, Resume has standards. We have adventuring standards here. Who would be in the front? As you're walking down these halls,
Roshin.
I would imagine it would be kind of difficult to walk anything more than like 2 abreast. You certainly couldn't be like a big clump here. It's fairly narrow. It's not super tight, but it's a single hallway. You will be the first to come into view of this girl.
Dare I see a glimmer of self-independence in your eyes there?
What happened?
We're doing a jailbreak.
Okay. Well, she lets go of the bars and just kind of steps back and just looks kind of expectantly at you.
Oh, I like her.
You want to be coming along with us, do you? Don't tell me you still have a bit of spark of self-reliance in you.
I'm not going to accomplish anything down here. I don't know what I expected would change. I don't know what I thought would happen. I didn't want to leave, but I don't want to spend my entire life in this room.
All right. I can appreciate that. I didn't think I'd appreciate it actually as much until I actually first got here and spent some time in this blasted place.
No, I don't. If this is some kind of test, either of the headmasters or of Lord Menkare's, make no mistake,
Oh no, I don't think
I
you
love
want to.
promise.
I don't think you want to finish that sentence there.
I would give anything to stay here, but
But what?
but not in this. I can't. It's not in this room. This isn't.
Why did you get locked up, sweetheart?
I wouldn't leave. I was just sort of averting your gaze at this point. The 2 chances to pass your exams, and I refused passage back to Aveston. I didn't want to go. I want to stay here.
Well, that's where we're going. We're just passing through. We can take you back. It'll be a fine place we bring you. It won't be this gilded cage of a city that you're living in now. But you'll be able to walk about on your own and breathe the air like a free person.
You'll like Breach Hill.
Maybe.
But what? I don't. Well, I mean, I'm not confident in my ability to fight. I'm not great at it. I've never excelled in my martial classes. But
Are you worried about being used to us, my dear?
We
We
don't
haven't
want
asked a single thing of you.
we don't want you to fight.
not you. Well, the bandits and the thieves and the murderers.
Of course.
The monsters and the demons that plague the world.
Well, they twisted you up something terrible. Well, not entirely. Don't worry, dear. There's plenty of people out there who have to deal with the same problems. They manage. They band together into towns, settlements. They look after each other. And they get strong.
Until they don't.
Promise isn't the only place that's, peaceful and all that.
Well,
The
even
snakes are in the garden, my dear. You can stay holed up in this corner, or you can come out into the wider
no,
world.
I want to leave. I'm just now that it's I guess so very real. Even Absalom, the city at the center of the world, it's been raided by serpent folk. It's been raised by cyclopes. It's been through 3 wars, 2 civil.
Oh, a bit of a historian, are you?
Taldor, supposed to be one of the most stable nations in the world, just got through not just a civil war, but a war, the third it's had with Qadira to the south just a few years ago. They had bodies in the streets.
Not so much. I mean, I think they've blown most of that out of proportion for you, darling. It wasn't like there were young girls like you dying in the streets.
We've read the writings, the journals of scholars and historians of Commander Pytharius and Queen Eutropia's armies clashing in the fields outside of the capital city of Opara.
I won't lie to you, dear. It can be quite nasty out there sometimes. That's the world, though.
But how do you live?
Have you read about the good times? Did they teach you that in school? Did they tell you about family and friends and festivals, dancing and music?
Well, of course, but I mean, there's all of that here as well, but without the looming threat of war or famine or dragons burning a city to the ground.
Of course.
It's funny enough that you think about it really hard. All the hard times make everything feel so much more worth it. You go through dark times and the light at the end of the tunnel is even better. But another question from me, how old exactly is Promise? It's not that old of a city. Things haven't happened because they haven't had a chance to happen. If some big force decides to set its eyes on Promise, bad things could happen. That's just the nature of the world.
It's been near a century. It's 93 years ago that Lord Menkari
93 years. It's very
founded the
young.
city upon the island.
I was just about to say, what are the chances of a dragon attacking your small little town? But then I remembered. Never mind. That just makes it worse.
Well, between Lord Menkari himself, the Promise Guard, and the dragons of the ocean, it's all but unimaginable anything could happen here.
And that's the problem. But things can happen.
Yeah, you see, your imagination ain't the only place that you can think of these things.
And even if they do, it doesn't matter if I'm down here.
Also, do you know where else it's very, very peaceful? In the fields where they keep the lambs right before they slaughter them, because God forbid they should go through anything before they're killed for food. But I digress. Yes, you will leave.
The metaphor doesn't hold any water. No one's slaughtered in Promise.
See there, she's making a pretty vague reference to you there, friend. You're the lamb in the situation.
Everyone in
you
Promise
and
has been
everybody in
kept.
Promise.
They're all kept here by Menkari. You're part of a collection, a dragon's hoard, as it were. That's why he doesn't. That's why he accepts only the best. Any piece that's tarnished, he tosses back out into the ocean.
You're a selective breeding program, like with dogs.
Well, not you specifically, because you're down here now.
But you'll come.
I don't really. Your viewpoint is so.
Listen, it's
foreign.
It's pretty
but-
complex. These guys read a bunch of books about it for like hours. It was pretty boring. If you're really interested, though, if you come with us, I'm sure this guy will tell you all about it.
Boy, I understand. I guess from a philosophical standpoint, I passed those portions of the exams at least. I understand Ustalavic Gregorian. I suppose through the lens of Theobald the Wise, it is utilitarian, perhaps, but
My dear, it all comes down to this. Your choices in life are stay in that cell until you're as old as the people up front that you pass.
no. I know. I
Or
understand.
come out with
I'm
us
just
into the world.
afraid.
Of course you are. Never stop being afraid. Keeps you sharp, keeps you on your toes.
Besides, if you can even moderately handle a sword, you're going to be far more prepared for the world than most of the farmers and people and shopkeepers out there in the world where we're going. You'll be more than capable of defending yourself should you need to.
I've been much better with the spear, honestly, but
That works too.
the extra reach helps. I'm useless with no distance.
I can understand that. I short arms myself.
Well then, you ready to stop being a dog? You want to go be a wolf in the wild with us?
All right. Okay. All right. Well, what do we do? Surely you haven't killed every guard in the Citadel. Do you have a boat?
Well, we're going to take you back out with us invisible, so no one will be able to see you. But for now,
For now, we're breaking out we've come down here to break out somebody. We're going to keep looking for him. You can stay in that cell or you can pass with us. Although I think if you pass with us, you might...
You have magic.
we have the
course.
key.
that too.
Okay.
We have both.
I'm all right.
The key's nice.
2 keys.
We took the keys off the guards.
I'm ready.
Oh, I think we have 3 keys, actually.
Okay.
We hit the guards with
suppose.
magic.
Well, whichever one opens the door. Where do I go?
Probably stay in the middle of us for now. We're going deeper in.
And as you open it, you hear from the cell across the other girl, Anastasia, what are you doing? You can't. You at least here you live.
Like a caged bird.
What a poor sense of adventure.
You think a whipped dog can handle a hungry wolf?
She holds the pillow up, just eyes over the top of it, shirking back further than she was before the back of her little bed.
Come along, we'll rescue the poor lambs later.
No, I think she's beyond help.
They choose to stay here. They choose to stay here. You can't force them to do anything they don't want to do.
Do you know this girl? Do you know her really well? Is she your sister?
No, nothing like that. But I don't have any siblings. You really do have multiple children out there. Your parents
yeah.
raising entire
Oh.
herds.
Well, not me personally, but yeah.
I'm the youngest of 4.
I'm the youngest of like.
How do your parents even have time for any of you?
Hey,
I'm not the
you know who
Four older and
puts
four
us
younger.
together too? Nobody. There's no almighty dragon telling us who we can fall in love with or any of that.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Have you met my grandmother?
No.
So, I've never had a chance to speak with anyone from outside. You're...
It'll be quite a shock to you. You'll have a lot of things to learn.
But we'll teach you.
Well, I feel like I understand it well enough. It's just a different thing, meeting it. I'm Anastasia, by the way.
Come along, young wolf.
Name's
Sure.
Kalidar, by the way. This is
Resme.
Roisin.
Raz.
And Raz, yeah. All right. Children of despair, always heart wrenching. But
Nonsense. She's actually come to terms with her situation far quicker than anyone else in this block.
I don't think she's quite at the terms with it.
But she's
No, her
Her
resilient
mind's still
enough.
addled.
No, I don't want to stay here.
That's fair.
I don't want to stay here. I understand it's... I don't know. I thought maybe there'd be some second chance, some redemption at least.
That's what the person up in the first cell was staying. I wonder how long they repeated that to
Or at least
themselves.
it's safer here. At least I know I'd be well cared for.
You'll be fed, watered, and you'll live out to a ripe old age inside that 10 by 10 room right there.
Come along.
It's not as good a life now that I've had a day to experience it.
A day.
Well, a day and a half, I suppose.
Oh, you're fresh.
They didn't quite break you long enough then.
Well, exams were only a week ago.
What about you? Looking across to the other girl still cringing in the corner. You a
Melinda.
true believer or just afraid for your life?
And Anastasia kind of Melinda. Her name's Melinda. She looks to be a little bit taller and a little bit larger. She seems where Anastasia maybe very possibly... Again, nobody here is not a physical specimen, but she is an extremely lean build, whereas Melinda appears to be a bit larger, a bit heavier features. Even her hair, like a kind of dark ginger, a little more rough and raw, falling around, framing her face around to about her chest. Starkly at odds with this cowering position behind this pillow here. Oh. No.
You're happy in the cell then?
Scared out of her mind, it seems.
Absolutely terrified.
Maybe she'll come to terms with it. Maybe on the way out.
Yeah, we'll give her a minute.
Barbarians!
Oh, sure.
Barbarians, all of you!
Been called worse.
Honestly,
Actually, that's kind of endearing.
This guy's a barbarian.
you've never met Marshall.
Look at him.
It makes you think of Marshall.
Right. We'll leave the dog in the kennel. Let's keep going.
Anastasia just nods and follows along behind you as you continue.
I unlock Melinda's cell and just open the door.
For
You're trying to make a point.
She's free if she wants to be.
So's everyone in this block.
Well, I got a key. I can open all the cells if I want to.
I think we tried that with the first few. No one left.
Do you know
Yeah, they've been here for longer, though.
there's an interesting study done about this, some years ago in Taldor, actually. They wrote it up into a sort of experiment. I'll tell you about it on the way.
I'm not the one learning. I'm not the one teaching.
Are you referring to the stone place?
Yes.
I've read about that, where they took a group of children and they taught them the tale of a play, the old tale of Emperor Taldaris and the slaying of the Gograsant, and ran them through it enough times that they were more at home with that than their actual lives outside of it. That they lived in the playhouse.
Wow, you're curiously well educated for somebody who failed their exams. Are you sure you're not just a bad test taker?
I don't do well with pressure. I failed my physical tests.
Well, that doesn't matter. You'll be well enough in the real world. We'll have plenty for you to do.
Well, physical and mathematics.
Oh, math is hard.
I hate math.
I can't read.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, you mean just you only Taldane, or
Oh, no, I just do picture books. That's it, bud.
you can't read Taldane?
Can't read nothing. Never got taught.
Where he comes from, they have a terrible education system.
And he doesn't want to learn either. That's the problem.
I didn't say that.
The 2 days I've known him, I tried to teach him. He just won't take to it. Simple words, like his
Is
name.
he continuing down the hall as you talk here? Even a couple, like literally the set of cells past Melinda and Anastasia are empty. You have reached.
Good, no babies.
There's like a toddler in one. Oh my god.
In the city of Comet, all of the new babies are examined. Any that are found wanting are discarded.
That's what I was thinking. I was imagining little babies, little sucky things in there, just looking up.
Jeez.
The prison midwife come through.
Oh, jeez, buds.
Sorry.
Got dark in here.
Oh god! Ooh.
So wait, we didn't see.
Turned out the lights.
We didn't see. What's his face? Who's its name?
No sign of Xerxes.
Oh, they keep the political prisoners further down, I bet.
The hallway does end another 8-10 cells past where Anastasia and Melinda were kept, and maybe another wing will have to be added in the future. But the hallway does turn once more, angling to what looks like it already perhaps has been preparation, a straight, narrow corridor, still spaced and lit by torches, but devoid of any doors or decorations along its length. A single hallway going about 100 feet past nothing to a wooden door at its end. And as you get to the corner, Anastasia sort of taps whoever. I assume she's in the back, so probably Raz or Resme, whoever's in the back of the line.
I think we would put her in the middle,
in the
preferably.
middle of
Yeah.
protection
Yeah.
system. Fair enough.
I would probably take. I mean, the order we've got here is probably wrong. I'd probably take the back of the group.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's
Because-
probably about right.
Because, if I'm going to get stabbed, I'm going to get stabbed in the back. I might as well be in the back so that Raz doesn't get stabbed in
You
the back.
just present the back
That's
perfectly
it. Yeah, just,
for whoever's
just
going to
put a
come up
big
behind you.
target
Just
back
be
there.
ready.
It's all good.
Well, then she would tap on Resme's shoulder. This, I don't think this leads out. This just goes to Warden Plus's office.
The warden's office, you say?
Yes, Warden Ignovum Plus.
Oh, it's all right. We haven't kicked in his door yet today.
I've never met him personally, but there's nothing down here but his station. There's no one else.
Well, I'm sure they've got some more things down here than you've seen. We suspect there's political prisoners being kept further down here. We know for a fact because the prisoner we're looking for hasn't been seen yet.
Well, even if there ain't no prisoners back this way, he's probably got some notes or something that would tell us where they would be.
Oh, look how studious you're being, Calgar.
Hey, look, I can't read, but I know what books look like.
How would Promise have a political prisoner?
Oh, people who disagree with the government, you throw them in jail so they can't spread their ideas to people. Put ideas in their head that the dragon might not know everything. It's very common out in the world, actually.
No, we have Grand Forum at the first of every month in the Citadel. We have Grand Forum and the council's chambers in the center, and their podium is open for public debate on all manner of topics and theories and.
Except for disagreeing with Mankare.
Yeah, the public debate is open for approved disagreements. You can disagree on whether you like the fish or the steak on Thursdays. Once you get to the things about, should people be allowed to travel freely or decide who they go and marry, well, that's going to be a bit too touchy.
No one would want to do that.
Of course. Anyone who would, you throw them in jail.
They got to be taken out of the breeding program.
Why? Who would want? I suppose
For the same reason you didn't want to stay in your cell, my dear.
They want to choose.
My cute little revolutionary.
It's okay. Recidivism comes to us all in the end.
You said we're going to escape from this place invisible, right?
Yes. Would you like to be invisible now? You're young,
I
sweetheart.
just don't. I don't ever want my parents to know what happened.
We're not going to tell them, dear.
Okay. I want them to just think that I'm safe down here and not running amok with
Barbarians.
Bandits.
foreigners.
It's even a nicer
It's a bit
word.
of a nicer word. He's already come a long ways in just a single hallway.
No, she didn't say
She didn't
barbarian.
call us
Melinda said barbarian.
Oh, fair enough.
Right.
Might as well.
But by this point, you have approached the door here, which does actually have a small brass plaque set across the front of it. Warden Ignovum Plus. save for that, it is as devoid of decoration as the hall preceding it.
Well, young wolf will likely come to blows in there, so try to protect yourself.
Would it be wise for me to return to my cell for now to wait?
I won't send you back there. You do what you want.
I would recommend you wait outside this door, if nothing else.
She looks back down the hall. That seems wise enough. Okay.
Shout at us if someone comes this way. One of us will come out here and help.
Of course.
If you have any magic or any ability, if you could manage to cross out his name and write something like Buttface under his nameplate. I don't really have time to do it right now, but I have this incorrigible need to do so.
But
You've been hanging around with Raz too much. He's making you into a vandal.
I don't. What? That's very, very wrong. Don't just vandalize as he's scratching out. I was already up there scratching out his nameplate.
Shouldn't do this, friends. Do as I say, not as I do.
I'll wait here then.
Oh, and while you wait, Raz is actually going to pull out a little journal that's bound. Here's something to read. Adventures from the Outside, written by my daughter. She's very good at handwriting. Got a lot better when she got past the age of 10.
And she can spell Buttface.
Krogax. And I'm going to cast heroism on myself.
All right.
Is this door locked?
It is not, no.
Does it seem like it would be trapped?
I mean, you are seeking, so like the way seeking works in Pathfinder is you don't have to ask that question because the seeking people automatically get perception checks to be trapped anyway, for exactly that reason. So you open the door into the office beyond, which immediately, as it's revealed before you, is less of an office and more of a laboratory. The space is fairly large, a little bit bigger than the antechamber at the base of the stairs before you came into the prison, maybe about 30 feet on a side. And it is filled with absolutely countless glass bottles, containers, and fixtures across a litany of shelves and tables around the outside, leaving much of the space in the center of the room largely free and open. There are medical tools and experimental equipment, strange devices interspersed around these, lining these various shelves. On the northern walls, large glass containers, vats almost, feet across and near floor to ceiling in this 15-foot high room, are filled with what look like gently shuddering heaps of flesh.
Oh,
Formless and near shapeless.
Medical experiments in a prison. Oh, who'd have thought?
Contained
eugenics and gross stuff. Great.
oh no. Contained in a strange holding liquid. This appears to be the only entrance and exit to the room, where inside, dotted around, are 3 figures. 2 look like Promise guards. You've seen lots of Promise guards by this point. They're not surprising. But notably, they are not wearing the armor of the Gilded Citadel guards. These guards have the traditional steeled, silvered plate of the guards on the surface, of the guards that you had met with, of Grigorovic even. Neither of them are wearing their helmets, which is the first you've ever seen, other than the captain herself, a guard on or off duty without their full garb on. You've seen all, or maybe you've seen off-duty guards around. Apparently everyone takes shifts doing it, but it's kind of an all or nothing sort of thing. At a table on the western end of the room, across from you, is one other man. He is very strangely dressed for Promise. A city with a wide array of high and experimental fashions. He looks almost like a poor traveler. He's got shoddy brown scarves and shawls drawn around a sort of bulky cloak and loose-fitting clothing. It's just kind of draped across his body. His hair is short, black, and haphazard, clumps just kind of shooting off in odd directions as if unkempt. The man seemingly had never heard of a comb before. You can see at the back of his head a leather strap that goes across that must be supporting something on his face, but it is at an angle, going above one ear and below the other. The massive cape he has that sort of just turns his form into this tawdry lump, obscuring any really specifics about his body, before he turns around to face you, and you see a well-crafted, almost like clockwork and metal eye patch that he has across one eye. A still kind of ragged, but at least trimmed black mustache and goatee across his face, and a litany of alchemical and medical tools on belts and bandoliers drawn across his body. A belt sporting a half dozen syringes of various liquids in their orange glass bodies, an assortment of other small jars, filters, and pots, myriad pouches of different components and strange lumps of crystallized minerals strapped to parts of his body. He looks across the group of you, almost confused for a moment, very confused at Raz, and then to Resme and Kaladar and slightly less confused, and his face kind of brightens, and a smile comes across. Welcome, fantastic. Step inside, please.
Oh, yes, thank you. You're far too kind.
And he turns back around and starts fiddling with a couple of things on whatever is running on the desk in front of him. From this distance, it's impossible to tell, but it appears to be complex.
You'd be the Warden, I take it.
Indeed, I would be who you were looking for. I assume you have been contacted by some of my men on the surface.
Yes.
Do you understand? He looks back across the group of you again, mainly at Resme and Kaladar. I know you've all got, like, your weapons in your hand, your blood spattered.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, so do the guards. The guards are also just standing there with their swords in their hands.
Are they looking at us or looking at him?
They're looking at you now. They've made no move towards you, but they're staring almost just blank expressions on their faces, like zombies.
Are you going to randomize us
Looking
first?
in your direction. Randomize you?
Yeah.
No.
Into a group.
No, I'm sorry. So, this experiment here, he turns back around to the table. This experiment here, this is, we're so very, very close. You're making history. You're making history is what you're doing. You are enabling the glorious endeavor and Minkare's beautiful promise for generations to come. Generations that may very well be unnecessary if all of this concludes as I hope. And with your fine assistance, as he turns back around, well, your fine assistance, frankly, what exactly were you invited here for? The
Prisoner transfer.
Are you a paladin of sorts? You're
Something
armed
like
with a
that,
sword?
I suppose you might say.
And he looks down at your blade. Runes, may I see that for a brief moment?
Oh, I can give you a very close examination of it if you want to. But first off, we are a bit pressed for time. Prisoner transfer, Xerxes, political prisoner, elf, Mwangi expanse, dark-skinned, indefinite imprisonment. You're the Warden, are you not?
I am the warden of the prison, but you would have had to have walked past all of the prisoners to have arrived here.
Every single one of them. Surely there is not another prison.
Sort of gestures to the room. There is not.
It's possible I've been given terrible directions.
Who are you?
Worry that you may have been misled. You're here, clinical trials for the elven genome, correct?
Oh,
Of course. And that's why I was wondering if you were going to randomize us or if this was just going to be a standard treatment study.
Oh, no. I simply need more, I suppose, subjects. I need to test more samples, more varied spectrums of elven blood to see what is really possible.
Are these guards elves that are in here?
The guards are human.
The guards are human. Okay.
With my extensive boneyard knowledge, I am legendary. Are they alive? I can roll a check if you really need me to.
Yes.
Are they alive in the same way that I am
They
alive?
are not undead. They are living people. But maybe a perception check.
Are they gorked?
A little gorked.
Nope, I didn't see it.
They are alive.
I'm also
I mean,
seeking.
something is clearly very wrong with them. But yeah, you were going to throw me one too. You're seeking.
Hey, there you go.
That's going to be a 44.
The 44, as you look at them, the two guards are looking at you in the sense that their eyes are pointed your direction and so is their face. But it's not just their face. They're standing there and they had their swords in their hands when you came in the room. They're just like almost drones at this point. They have turned to face you because you are like stimulus that has appeared in the room that they're responding to. Their expressions are beyond completely blank. They are devoid of any emotion or even reaction to your presence. They have no thoughts.
Have you alchemically lobotomized them?
These are unfortunate. The first few trials we have had, well, honestly, these are spectacular progress. Because while the trials were certainly not entirely successful, I do believe that I may have been able to extend their lives by possibly 2, maybe 3 decades beyond what their natural lifespan would have been. Of course, there's no way to verify that for certain until we have perfected the formula. But this turns back to his table. I don't know what you've been told, and I'll admit I'm a little confused here.
Oh, no, please, take it from the top. And Roshin's just going to cross the room and, like, walk up right next to him and look over his shoulder.
As you walk towards him...
He did ask to see my runes on my sword.
Yeah, the guards will kind of, like, shamble towards you, but won't stop you. They will let you walk all the way up to the Warden.
Yeah. I'll get right next to him.
Yeah, you go absolutely come right up next to him.
And just lean over the table and look.
This here is the essence of perfection. Lord Menkare is right. He is right in his assumptions. Humans have the purest blood. They have the most medically accurate genome. Near everything is arranged correctly, save for one thing, and that is whatever minor biological flaw it has that shortens our lifespans to such an unduly end. But there is something somewhere, he turns back, that makes you different from us. That lets you live for centuries on end, to continue your studies, to continue to learn, to continue to grow. And that is somewhere in your blood. And I
It's the
believe
ears.
we are on the cusp of isolating it.
So I'm going to walk over and just kind of take the next corner behind one of those guards, really, and be like, oh, really? Well, let me take a look.
And he turns back towards Roshin. Your blade. I have a theory. And I'm going to have a very long talk with my associates, as I told them this phase of the study is not yet ready. I have a lot more hypotheses to attempt test. I am still very much in the discovery phase of this one. But the rinse, please.
Oh, of course. And she's just going to stab the sword into the workbench so that he can clearly see the runes.
This is delicate equipment.
Well, you had to have it stabilized to be able to see things.
Let me take a look at his notebook.
And as you look through, you can walk up and look. It's extremely detailed and very, like, mind-numbingly technical in what he's going through with the trials. Not even immediately apparent to exactly what it is that it's about. But you have a holy rune in your sword, yes?
I totally do.
He is going to pick up a small little device that looks at first almost like a magnifying glass with no handle. A large glass lens with a thick rim around it with a couple of dials, and hold it up to the runes, twist a couple of things, and then click something down, and through the lens, because you're kind of next to each other,
I'm totally looking
you
through
will
it,
see that holy rune ignite yellow. Exactly as I thought. If you can hold that, I suppose you are the perfect fit for this as well. You, paragon that you are, I assume have been brought to promise for your honor, your bravery, your unwavering faith
Oh,
to
go on.
whatever it is that you believed in before you came here.
She's also very attractive.
Do you know what it is
You
that
are.
makes a thing divine?
Well, certainly a connection to the celestial realms or the infernal types.
To a god.
My ears.
Certainly.
But what is a god?
Missions.
Ears.
You know, it's a fine question. The technical aspects of it are a bit fuzzy, to be perfectly honest with me.
By all measurable factors, by everything observable within our universe, within this plane and others, they exist, truly. They are inordinate fonts of power, near immeasurable, but they are not beings. They are not people, certainly. They are not singular entities, as we understand them, as we believe them to be.
Well, they certainly are, but moreover, they seem to have embodied sort of, what would you say? Sort of a concept, a singular concept, or a suite of concepts.
Dogma. That's dogma.
But what
That's
about Cade and Killian?
What about Caden Killian? What about Nethys? What about Irori?
Who's that last one?
Questions.
Oh, he's sort of a self-improvement thing. Sat on a mountain for a long time instead of touching the star stone.
Men who were mere mortals originally, who ascended to godhood through various ways, through touching the magical rock of Absalom, through achieving physical perfection, through direct raw magic. Nethys, that last one, I believe, the most prudent. Gods grant magic. With me, clerics, priests, they take a font of this essence from their gods, from this magic, and they work it themselves. What makes that magic different from a sorcerer, from a wizard, from an occultist?
Well, my magic's cool. I was just born with it.
No, it's the connection, of course, sir.
It's the source.
Yes, of course.
It's the source.
It flavors it and actually has a strong impact on its manifestations.
Entire religions, churches, books, writings, treatises, lifestyles have emerged alongside how to tap into these fonts of magic.
Well, I wouldn't say that far.
When humanity was young, we believed the oceans, the edge of the world. We believed the storms in the sky, works of gods or magic, because they were
Certainly.
unknowable to us.
Right, of course.
Magic, too, was unknowable to us, but recently, in preceding centuries, decades, even the last handful of years, great strides have been made. Magic is a science like any other.
But you can't deny the fact that storms happen because gods of storms make them happen. Of course they do.
Well, he's distracted.
Mayhaps, my friend. But
I'm totally stealing everything on his bench and replacing it with other stuff.
I mean, you're free to just like pick up random stuff on
Raz,
it, but he is very
Raz in minutes.
he is
swapping
make me a thievery check. He is extremely involved in this. So like,
Having a philosophical
He is.
debate with a believer. They don't let these in here.
he's excited. He doesn't get to have
Can I
this very
take
often.
10?
No, you
Okay.
you have assurance?
No, I'm just legendary.
No, roll.
Hey.
Okay, that's gonna be a 45.
Yeah, he does not notice at all. He is engrossed in this conversation.
Oh,
he has going on
Pathfinder
here.
numbers.
But certainly,
Perhaps they do, my friend. But
just because you've figured out the arcane sigils and particular properties of the weather to be able to alter it yourself doesn't mean that the gods are any less important or less effective.
it's not about their importance. No, they are inarguably incredible fonts of power, sources of magic, sources of miracles that even the most learned wizards, academics, and scholars would admit should border on the impossible. But just a few years ago, scholars, magi, had believed that magic, the depths of magic, had been plumbed. All there was of the science of spellcraft had been learned, it had been unraveled. We understood how to work ley energies, how to weave them into our own thing. And all it took was one man, one lich, bursting his prison in Ustalov, and the necromantic energy unleashed from there. So potent, so previously unattainable, that we discovered entirely new circles of magic. Ascending beyond the 9th tier was something thought inconceivable. That was the peak. But now, sorceries of the 10th degree exist. From one spark, one event. And years before that, scholars thought everything was understood with 8th tier of magic, and generations and millennia ago, when we were casting mere cantrips from our fingers, we thought we had unraveled the source.
Does this dude think that 10th level magic is hard? I mean,
But-
anybody can do that.
What is the
Not
root
me, bud.
of all of this?
Are you trying to go and saying you can ascend to higher tiers of magic through simple study to approach the divine? Is that what you're going for here?
What is the divine? The divine is a font of power like any other. Like the ley energy, wizards studiously learn to pull from directly. What's born into the blood of a sorcerer, they learn to warp and control. Divine energy is the essence of this concept of good and evil, of law and chaos.
You wear your hubris like one of those many cloaks. It's fascinating.
It's weird. He's missing the point.
Of the greatest inventors for the history of humankind had been called mad before they succeeded.
What about
Think about it.
Oh yeah, and many of them didn't succeed there, bud.
And a lot of them were actually mad.
What
You're missing a point
does
of the
it
divine.
mean to be good? Good in the eyes of these gods, in the eyes of these divines, to be allowed a taste of their divine energy.
Are you suggesting that good is just good and evil are just made up concepts?
No. You misread me, madame. Very much the opposite. They are physical, demonstrable tenets.
Of course.
They are things that exist, and they are things that can be distilled. There is an essence somewhere of this concept of good, of evil, of law. Entire planes structured around their being exist. Lord Mekare is in one right now at this very moment. After his own errands, the plane of Axis, the epitome of all that is whatever this divine source of lawful energy is. It is something. It is there, and it can be tapped into. It can be understood. Whether it is something born into blood, or something learned, or something that must be studied and manipulated, like arcane magic, well, it is the source of these discoveries. As I said, I'm far from ready to begin this, but
in your head you hear, can I throw him in a maze now?
Hey, wait until he starts researching occult magic. That's when it gets really wacky.
I do very much. I'm sure I will be grateful for your presence, for your ability to wield a blade bearing this rune, for you to have sought it out. In any case, you must be a paragon of this essence, and if there are answers to be found in your blood, well, the very least samples will help me on my path. But first, you two.
Have you ever tried to half-cast yourself anywhere?
Tried to half-cast.
Oh, not Piokian magic again. No.
And he strides past the two of you over to the southern end of the room to a set of cabinets and opens them and starts rifling through. And he pulls out a couple of what appear to be almost like translucent water skins of some thick gel, lengths of tubing made of the same material, and several sets of small needles and syringes.
Right. Well, he's about that. Looking around, is there like what appear to be prisoner ledgers or something? Allegedly, this guy's a warden, so maybe some of his job involves keeping track of who's in prison here.
On the eastern wall near the door that you came in, there are several sets of shelves that there's a single standing bookshelf and several sets of shelves with a variety of thick tomes set across them. The bookshelf itself seems to be much more uniform. That's probably more likely what it is. That said, from what you've walked past, like a total of 24 prisoners here, and Prom's only been here for like 100 years. So you're not looking for like the records room. You're looking for like a book.
You're right.
Probably at this point.
I'll just go scan the shelves real quick and just look for the prisoner records.
This entire time he's been ranting, I just been wandering around the room. Like, I put the guards just...
And the guards don't respond literally at all to your like attempts to get their attention. Their attention seems to be just focused on whoever is closest to Warden Plus at any time. And then it's just their blank gazes your direction, and now your direction as Roshin walks away. Just kind of turning in place to just keep their attention that way. Well, Kaldor, what are you doing in here?
Kaldar's looking for the way out of this room that isn't that door. Does not appear like this door. This room doesn't seem like
What was your perception check you got before?
Yeah. Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Real bad.
What was it?
I rolled a natural one on the die,
Oh,
which
okay.
means I got a 31 total.
Well, that was looking at the guys. I rolled a perception check for the seeking, which is a different thing.
Yeah, all right. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, that's a different die. That's better. That's a 42.
So the room is not cluttered. The walls are not absolutely stacked. Like there is space other than the northern wall with these tanks kind of line the entire thing. Again, these like slowly undulating and shuddering piles of flesh and their giant containment tubes.
Are those things alive? We can get to that
They're
later.
moving a little. Hard to tell looking at them from outside the tank.
Looks like Vietnamese food.
What does alive mean anyway?
Yeah.
Alive is just a physical essence that can be distilled.
Dude, don't make me write little signs.
There are whole planes of life.
We're living in one right now.
Negative energy. We
Carry on.
Chew some gum. Put "I'm with stupid" on
but
one of their
looking
foreheads.
through, there are some like spaces within these shelves, and in the northwestern corner of the room, it's well blended in, and it is in fact a rack of equipment. But near the edge of the rack, there is the smallest little gap you can see in the flickering light. That entire rack moves. It may not be a hall or a room. It might just be a compartment, but there is definitely something full-size standing shelf-sized, at least, behind that.
Okay then. I just kind of make if I can make your eye contact. I just kind of.
The warden is kind of readying these things on the table here.
Can you open it?
Probably.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Have I found the book?
As you're
yet?
looking through, you would pretty quickly be able to find the smallish, not very filled out ledger that is used for the prisoners, which it just appears to be filled out very plainly with individual names and what they were sentenced for, which in almost all cases is heresy or treason.
Big surprise.
Vanilla and chocolate.
But no gods allowed in this city, mind you. Heresy, 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 heresy.
None of that's all the information. There's no there's not we don't do sentence lengths here. Mm-hmm. There's no length of sentence, there's no notes beyond that, just the who and the briefest possible why.
And I assume that Anastasia's name is also included in this ledger.
Anastasia's as you get further through the ledger into the second half, refusal would also become a common thing alongside the other two. It would not be as common, but Anastasia would have been brought down here 2 days ago for refusal.
Is Xerxes on the list?
Xerxes is not on the list. But as he gets all these things together, he connects one of these. This whole time he's setting up what is basically just the medieval equivalent of an IV line and a blood bag, but he doesn't have any kind of stand or anything to put it on, and turns around towards Resme. All right. Opens another cupboard and pulls out a small wooden stool. Just have a seat right here for me, miss.
Oh, do you need me to stick myself, or are you decent enough?
If you are perfectly competent to do this, I can deal with your friend.
Perfect.
And I'll hand this little
Take the
needle to
needle.
you, and then turn around to Roisin, the other end of the room. Kaladar, who is, I guess, kind of in the probably
I'd be right in front of the doors that I discovered, basically.
right over
And,
there.
yeah.
You, sir, if you would.
And I just lean back on this shelf and push it open. Could I tell that if it opens
This
in
is
or
my
out?
favorite moment. You lean back and push, and nothing happens.
All right.
You put a lot of weight into it, and you're like, dang, I thought this was going to be a moment. And you kind of stand back up, and it goes just a little bit out.
Oops. There we go. Oh, hey, what's back here? Is he calling me over?
Yes.
Is that what he's doing? Okay.
Huh.
I just open it as wide as I can as I walk over to him.
I'll just go over and poke my head in.
I'd hope to pick your brain slightly longer before this. I killed them, I suppose. And he'll turn back to Resme, and the two guards at Kill Them will both just raise their swords almost like they're clubs and just start moving towards Kaladar.
Gerkahak!
I suppose it is there we'll take our midstream break. There's a perfectly fine space for it. Warden Plus is not, he's still just like with Resme. He's sitting here, he's like, all right, you're good. The guards are just moving towards Kaladar. So, before we depart, we have a bit of a giveaway to do here. We're going to be giving away one of, I think it's 4 sets of Norse Foundry dice that I am very smart and remember to bring to the studio with me, which is why I can show them to you, because I physically have them and they're not in my living room.
These are very true things.
But
Super true.
You will have a selection of some fancy metal Norse Foundry dice that are at my house. I'm good at my job. And now it's super easy. The giveaway is limited to people who are here during this stream right now. It's going to be open for, what time is it? 8:20? Let's say the next hour. I'll give the code out a couple of times when we have decent opportunities, and then one more time before we close it, before we pick a winner out of the chat here. All you're going to have to do, once it is open, cool. All you're going to have to do is type into the chat in all caps NF dice, like Norse Foundry dice. Just one little block of 6 characters, NF dice, all caps. That'll automatically enter you into the giveaway.
No space.
No space, just NF dice, all one word. We'll pull a winner in about an hour. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Everyone, don't go too far. BRB.
Oh, that was terrible.
Welcome back, everybody. We left off in a rather interesting place here. Warden of Promises Prisons, Ingnavam Tlus, is drawing some blood from Resme while Kaladar's opening secret doors, and
Listen,
he's like, guards, just kill him. Get him out of here. So I think at this point, it's definitely like roll initiative time. But before we do that, if you're just joining us, we've got a dice giveaway going on today. All you got to do to enter is type NF dice in your chat, all caps, NF dice. Currently, if you enter, you will have a 1 in 8 chance to win a free metal set of Norse Foundry dice. And I didn't say this before the break, and I super need to because I have to actually ship these to you. It does need to be in the U.S. Fortunately, due to our time slot, it's probably the vast majority, if not all, of the audience on account of it's like 4 a.m. in Europe.
I'll tell you what, if somebody is in Europe and they're dedicated enough to be up at 4 a.m, I will pay for the shit. We will make it happen. Like if somebody is in the UK or the EU, I will personally pay.
Well, there you go. It's his problem now.
Yeah, I'll write it down. It's fine. Can't be that much. I mean, these dice do weigh a lot, actually.
They're kind of chunky. But NF dice in the chat gets you in there. Before we roll initiative, I also wanted to say something. We're going to try something new today. We're going to do a little bit of an experiment, which is against a lot of the spirit of some of my initial vision for this whole show we've had since we moved to an actual table. Much like the Warden. Against the spirit of, you know, morality and happiness.
The Nuremberg laws?
So we're level 19 Pathfinder characters. You may have noticed in a lot of our Age of Ashes epilogue here that attacks are now doing like 4d8 plus 2d6 plus d4 plus 17 damage, which takes a while to roll, or 19d8, which takes a while to roll, takes a long time to add up, and is just a bit of a clunky process for a show just because the number of dice and the modifiers are so large now. So we are going to try rolling any damage that's more complicated than just like 3d6 sort of stuff on some little tablets here, just to facilitate the flow of gameplay. We're obviously still going to be rolling all of the d20s forever because that's where the exciting stuff happens anyway, I figure. Like even on absolutely max damage rolls, you don't get that jazzed for like
19d8. You're not counting it on the dice tray.
Yeah, well, and like 19d8.
Unfortunately, I am trying to count it on the dice tray, and I'm doing a terrible job.
You're gonna get average. It's 19d8. Like the statistical anomaly of even getting like a standard deviation.
You're bell curving it up pretty hard.
Yeah, but like even if you rolled 19d8 and it was literally all 6s, 7s, and 8s, like that'd be cool. But like that's nowhere near the hype of rolling like natural 20s. The natural 20s and 1s and d20s are where all the cool stuff happens anyway. We're gonna do it's a theoretical. We're doing an experiment. We're gonna see how it feels.
See how it works.
I really like our rolling all physical dice. We're at a table actually playing Pathfinder thing, but like concessions perhaps are better made for show flow. Anyway, roll initiative because yeah, this guy's
everyone gets +4
I dropped
from
my man.
Call to Arms.
+4 from Call to Arms.
And
Not them.
And +2 because he's always scouting.
I'm gonna use
True.
the
So
beast
+6
token
total?
for these guys.
Oh, yeah. Kaladar goes first.
51.
Okay, so here is the... Wow! Okay. Well, it's a good thing those are on initiative and not on killing you guys. I rolled a 19 and a 20.
It's okay. Kaladar just opened something at his back, which means something is certainly about to stab him in the back from whatever was inside that
Kaladar,
room.
who really likes being backstabbed, what is
It's gonna have to go faster than a 55 on initiative.
Oh, my
It's a little
boy.
finicky. It's
Yeah,
fine.
19 on the die.
51.
Not quite a 55, Rasheen.
Oh my god, you caught me off guard. I'm sorry.
It's one die.
21, 28, 18, 30, 38.
Is Nick falling apart to math?
48.
I was like, that seems
Yeah,
really
38 seems
low.
real low.
48's better.
48.
Resume,
50.
50.
Wow.
Right in the middle here.
This is a big initiative rolls
This
for
is
people.
big ol' initiative rolls. All right, our 2 guards also got 48s, which is their initiative modifier is not great. And Warden Lust, though he is not immediately doing anything, did get a 53, which is going to put him in there. Also, fun fact, because I didn't notice this because I don't have our screen in front of us, the cool power of Arkenforge that our Cadus, our technical showrunner here, has just been adding details in the room the entire time we've been talking about it and doing RP, because that's the power of playing the game in the map making software that you're using. So if you notice random details showing up on the map, that's because he's just been doodling cool furniture around, and that's pretty neat. Anyway, Kaladar, no one did in fact beat a 55, so you are up first.
That's great. Is this map accurate to our positions?
Yeah, more or less from what what I could tell of what you guys were saying you were doing before it started.
Sounds good. A quick glance behind me. Is there anything vicious in that room?
Looking in this doorway here, it appears...
I don't want to spend a ton of time on it because I don't actually want to use it.
Just like
an
a quick
action.
glance, it is a short, dark hall that appears to head off to the north. You don't see anything in it.
Got it. I'm running over to Warden. I'll take attacks of opportunity if these zombie
Well, they haven't
guys are
acted
gonna...
yet, so
Say
they
again?
couldn't do it anyway.
Yeah, okay. Great. So I'm going to run over to him. And he's going to catch some hands.
Just run up and start punching.
Yeah.
Just punch.
He's trying to administer an IV to Resume.
Dude, I'm
Flying
sticking-
hate. Oh, but you're doing
I'm
your own
sticking
resume,
myself,
right? You're doing it
man.
yourself. He
Yeah.
didn't tell you to come over.
Capable phlebotomist.
He asked for this.
Kill me there, eh, bud? Okay, all right. How about you catch some hands? Not that one, though. I'm going to hero point that one away. That one is from Haven the Oracle. Thank you very much. I'm going to re-roll that die because it was a 3 on the die. So not so great. He's also it, by the way. I've hunted prey.
Yeah, I kind of assume at this point, since it's a free action,
It's a
whoever
free
you're
action,
running
so
at is
anybody
prey.
I'm running at towards
you got
is-
auto prey.
Yeah, I get it once a round though. So if I have
that's fair,
if I have to switch, I do not get that. 11 on the die, plus 33 is a 44.
44 will definitely catch the scientist
Excellent.
sitting
He's
on a
gonna
stool.
catch some hands. Oop.
I heard that clerics get auto prey also.
And you know what? I'm gonna because it's a because I'm gonna combine these for DR. If he has them, I'm just gonna roll this one as
He
well.
does not, in fact, have DR. He is wearing clothes.
Excellent. So that one is a 19 on the die. So that's 8 higher than whatever I just said. 44 plus
Yeah,
8.
also gonna hit.
Does it crit?
Well, I mean, -2, right?
No, -1.
-1.
So, yeah, 7 higher.
Still does not crit, no, but is going to also catch him. As your fists land, you do both hear and feel the clink of chain under his clothes. He is not as unarmored as he appears.
I have holy runes, if that matters.
Surely you're evil. He's absolutely evil.
Yeah.
Surely you're evil.
So that's 2 hits
Dr.
with a holy rune.
Mangala is evil?
So give me, yeah. So put your holy rune damage in there too. He does not natively. You just roll all your damage.
Excellent. So that's a 26 plus 24 is 350 damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
50 damage. That's a flying
damage.
punch. That's pretty good.
That was it. He just comes at him with 2 hands and goes, "Oh, you're gonna stick my friend there, eh?"
And he's still
Right in
got the
his
IV
face.
equipment in his hand. And as you run up and just knock him, you smack out of his hand and just slam him back into the table behind him.
Excellent. That was 1 action because that was twin takedown.
We're running
And
over,
then,
so two.
Right,
Right.
but I mean the attack itself
Right.
was 1 action.
You still got one, is the point.
So then I roll athletics for tripping, right?
Sure do.
How about you lay down there, bud?
You will take your -10 for having 2 attacks
so
previously.
that wouldn't count because he's hunted prey or at his. So my hunted prey.
You won't get your agile,
advantage.
but you will get your hunted prey thing. So -6, I believe, is
Yeah.
probably what it
Yeah.
is. Let's go with
Yep.
that.
That was a pretty poor roll here. 30.
What is your reflex save, nerd? Okay.
It's high, isn't it?
So 36 minus 6. So 30.
Stop hitting
I rolled a
It's-
6 on the die.
It's not
pretty bad.
that low.
Yeah, it's pretty bad roll.
It's low enough that doesn't critically fail.
Okay.
But you will like slam into the table. He's got the table behind him, so you try
Right.
to take him down, and he kind of just like jostles against the furniture
Yeah.
here. And as you rush in, he takes these and grits his teeth. Fair enough. You're a subject one way or the other. Whips his syringe off of his belt and just tries to jab it into you in one like quick motion. That is going to be a 47.
Oh yeah, that actually does hit me. It does not critically hit me though.
It's a tiny little syringe. It kind of just, you're not wearing like plate armor or anything. The tip of it, surprisingly sturdy, seemingly not made of just like traditional. It's not a medical syringe from a hospital. It punches right through the armor. And you're going to
Take bubonic
have a
plague.
weird, very weird feeling come over
Those
you.
old Renaissance era syringes, man, like 10 gauge needles.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a fat needle. This is. You have been stabbed.
Yeah.
You are
So
going to take
basically a dagger.
It's 16 points of piercing damage. It's basically a dagger. Like that's not a massive number, but like you have been stabbed.
So as he comes towards me, Kalidar just kind of puts his back out and goes, "Oh, right there, bud. It goes right there. That's where the stabbing happens." So he just takes it in the back.
And as that jams into you, he hits it with his hand, and as part of like this strike, his palm depresses the lever of the syringe, and you know you have to make a fortitude save.
I figured as
You
much.
know that's coming in.
Okay, there. That's a 45.
45 is a regular success. And as this injects into you,
Sorry, it was how many points of piercing damage there?
16.
Okay.
You will immediately start to feel like the muscles of your shoulder like kind of warp and twist. It doesn't lock up. It doesn't like seize. It almost starts just like twitching. You lose control of your arm for a moment as your shoulder just starts to go nuts, and all of you can see like a bit of a roll of flesh starting to push up under his armor. You are sickened too.
Yikes. Okay.
And so are we. We're looking at that. Ugh.
I'm gonna fight the guards, guy.
You got that one. I believe in you guys. And then he is, with his other hand, he's just going to leave that syringe in you. Whereas with his other hand, he reaches back behind his cloak and pulls out an actual knife. And he goes to stab you with that one too.
And again, I try and catch it in the back of the shoulder.
And that's his 3 actions, because he gets to do the syringe thing, but he has to actually draw the knife and stab you with it. So, minus 4. 44.
It does in fact hit me, unless you have a bane.
I have
Actually,
less.
That would still
It would still hit you.
Yeah, it would still hit me. Yeah. So
so-
it hits.
44 is going to hit you, and
I
the
thought that was
knife.
his damage. I was gonna be like, holy shit.
No, big knife.
Yeah. Suddenly he's very beefy.
I mean, it is a knife. It's admittedly only slightly more than the needle. It's going to do 20 points of piercing damage, and then he's going to keep a hold of that one. It's like, no, that blood loss is going to be substantial. I'd recommend you sit down,
Oh no,
I can't-
that's
Raz.
Well, Raz has the book of all the instruments in his hand. He's gonna use an action, turn it into a harmonica.
Okay.
Because we're in a prison, it's fitting. He's gonna blow into it really fast, and it's gonna be a dirge
Well,
of doom.
do that again. What was the noise it makes?
Yeah,
What was the noise?
I don't know how
Perfect.
to play harmonica.
Chills.
Oh, I get chills.
Anyway,
He's the bard.
yeah, the bard. Dirge of doom, off the harmonica, something new.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the last 2
It
actions.
sounds like that. It's pretty doomy.
very doomy.
We're all frightened now.
Put on
he
your
doesn't know how to play
yarmulke.
harmonica.
It's time for
The one
harmonica.
instrument.
horn.
The one instrument. No one knows how to play. And then after that, he's gonna look up and like look at the dude at the guard, the warden. He's like, You can't trust anyone. No one, you can trust no one. Even the people you have under your control, even the thralls behind you. And as I'm saying this, he starts to hear whispers like at the back of his ear. I'm casting inexhaustible cynicism on him.
Okay.
Make me a will save.
Okay. This is fine.
Everything is fine.
Ooh. 49?
49.
Pretty confident, I'm saying?
He's pretty confident in himself. He does pass, but for a round, he feels as though even the people he has completely under his thrall will stab him in the back. He can hear them whispering behind him their inevitable betrayal. So, at the end of his turn, he's going to take the 66 mental damage, unless it spends one action looking for the inevitable betrayal, unless he pays attention to them really close.
Ooh, okay, that's neat. That brings us around to Resme. He has turned his attention entirely from you to fight Kaladar as he runs up and starts throwing hands, and nothing else has really happened in the room much. Roshin's standing here facing off with 2 of these guards, but no one else has moved yet.
Why don't you have a taste of your own medicine? Incare evolutum demortem. And she will fling out a certain amount of black energy that will surround him in a vortex. And in that vortex, he will start to hear the screams and the terror of everyone he has ever killed or hurt in this laboratory come back to haunt him.
That's a lot of screams. Okay.
And that is Tempest of Shades. That is all of my actions. He's going to need to make me a fortitude save. Yeah.
Okay.
Fortitude save.
Yeah. I imagine he's going to be at least somewhat bad at that.
I didn't roll good. 41.
That's going to fail. He is drained 2.
Okie dokie. So that's functionally a bunch of damage.
That is it.
What'd you get there, bud?
And as that all weighs down on him, you see the colors start to kind of drain from his face between Raz's whispers and your screaming. We have the 2 different approaches to stabilizing a man's psyche. Subtle whispers, panicked screaming. He wavers a bit because that drained 2 at this level does almost as much damage as Kaladar did.
Yeah.
Turns out drained 2 to a 19th level character is 38 damage functionally. That's pretty good. Now we're gonna come to the guards. They move like, again, almost like zombies, but they're not, once they get going, once they've been activated and once they start fighting, they raise their swords like clubs, but they then move with these quick, jerking, erratic, but practiced movements, like reminiscent of their training they had as promised guards. They're not like leaving themselves entirely open. They are not helpless, and they are not slow. Nor are they completely devoid of reason. The southern one is going to quickly step around to flank Kaladar with Warden Plus, while the other one is just going to remain where he is.
Did they make fortitude saves too? I'm sorry, it's an emanation. I forgot to tell you that. That was my fault.
Oh, is it just enemies?
Yeah.
Just enemies?
Yep.
Let me
Enemy
see.
creature.
Oh.
No, don't worry. I'm not danger close.
Roshin's killed a lot of guys too.
I'm not danger close.
You did a lot of screaming also.
Trigal in the back.
Kaladar has a lot of dead
Southern
friends.
one also a 41, northern one a 51. There's a 10-point differential there.
Also
the drain 2.
failures drained 2, the successes drained 1.
Okie dokie. So I'm just going to put like vaguely that much damage and then that much damage. Okay. And then the southern one, as he has the flank here, is going to swing at Kaladar, and you are flat-footed just because you are flanked here. This first swing he's going to have is going to be a 38 to hit.
That's not enough.
While these swings are, like, there is some hint of their training in there, they are certainly not fighting with the efficiency of the guards that you have fought before. A lot of their efficacy seems to have been lost with whatever it is that has taken them. And he is simply just going to swing again. These guys do not have shields, by the way. They don't have shields like the guards above. No helmets, no shields. Second swing is going to be even worse. So you're able to duck around these kind of erratic.
Kaladar doesn't even look at him. Doesn't even care. My back is to him. That's where I get hit. It's fine.
The northern one here
It's the only armored part of your armor.
That's right. Front of me is totally vulnerable.
is also just going
Except for these hands.
to move down as well, pretty much fully surrounding Kaladar in the corner. They just defend the guy. You really are the stabbing magnet, and you are really good at your job.
This is a man who knows how to take a knife to the back.
All right.
Okay, can I get you with a 45?
You can in fact get me with that one.
Okay, 45 to the damage tablet. That is going to swipe you for 40 points of slashing damage.
Oh, hey there, bud.
I do feel like this is dramatically faster than rolling a bunch of d8s and doing math. And then one follow-up swipe, which is definitely not going to hit with a multiple attack penalty. Which is going to bring us around to Roshin.
So these guys aren't paying attention to me at all.
They seem to have moved. I mean, they were commanded to kill Kaladar.
All right, fair enough.
So they're killing Kaladar.
Fair enough. All right. So Roshin's going to kind of reach for a sword, kind of look at it, and then look and see it's still on the workbench where she left it.
Crap.
I forgot about that.
And then kind of easily just kind of side-eye the guards as she just kind
I
of
was
walks
really hoping
around
you wouldn't
them.
remember that you started and you would go to try to grab it. But they
great.
do not stop you as you just kind of walk over. As you get up next to Warden Plus, the one...
I'm not getting next to Warden Plus.
No, he's not by the. He's
It's
not by
in the
bench.
west table.
It was in the west table.
Yeah, it's like in the west
Okay,
table.
yeah, you just walk over there and grab it.
You
Fair
just
enough.
Seinfeld your way over to the table.
Just kind of slip over, and I went and grab it. And I put it hand on the hilt to kind of flip into a dagger, so I don't have to rip it out of the desk. And then once it gets into her hand, it's going to. Yeah, that's it. And then it's going to kind of elongate and curve down into this massive axe.
Oh, I thought you were going to scythe people. I thought we were going to
I was
soul
so
reaping.
ready for a
I was
scythe.
sure he was going to go soul reaping. Okay.
You disappoint me.
Because small rooms and scythes.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, axe.
Look, we're playing a fantasy game, okay? You can use a scythe in the tiny room.
It does do less damage, though.
Okay.
All right.
Axe.
That's cooler though.
It's wheat-willed.
Big axe.
To make up
axe that
for it
looks
with
like a scythe.
intimidation factor.
Yeah, and just bring it smashing down onto the back of this guard. So it's move over, grab it. I've got 2 actions left. Bring it smashing down.
Arcade Forge is getting real intense over there. I love it.
Nice.
There's an axe floating around now.
You just gave her an axe. I love it.
A tiny little
Got a
axe.
tiny little axe and a token. It's beautiful. Okay.
46 flanks.
46 is absolutely going to hit us flat-footed.
All right, perfect. And I wasn't able to cast a spell, so I don't have to worry about that. So that's going to be... Alrighty. And I'm on moderate curse. So
It's such a ridiculous little axe.
extra.
I love it. It's also
Wow.
Fuck.
I am
Power of Arcane Forge, everybody.
I'm so disturbed right now.
it's so silly.
It's so wrong.
I
What
love
a
it.
masterpiece.
That's gonna be.
Something out of Archer?
Did I tell you what my hit was?
No.
46.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good. So I did hit.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
25 points of slashing
Okay.
damage. And she's going to, let's see, we're going to that and flip up into it'll curve back into a falchion to gain advantage of a forceful trait, which it gives me. And so I'll swing that around into a sweeping kind of
Speed rune.
cut up there with a speed rune. However, it's only a 4 on the die, so
Probably negative.
Probably not going to work.
Top of the round, I'm going to remind everybody that we have a giveaway going on right now in the chat for a free set of metal Norse Foundry dice. All you have to do to enter is type NF dice, all caps, one word, into the chat. Right now, there are only like 7 entries, so your odds are spectacular to win this. NF dice in the chat if you want to enter the giveaway. Kaladar.
So on my second card, it says that I can spend a round to retch and
Sure
attempt
can.
to recover. So he goes, he's getting some reminiscent of his time on the like, what was it? The stairs of promise.
The auto
Yeah,
stairs.
yeah,
And that
exactly.
basically just lets you retake the fortitude save. Yes.
Exactly. I rolled terribly on that fortitude save, so I'm going to try it again. That's much, much better. That's a 13 on the die, fortitude, so that's a 43 total.
43 will succeed.
Excellent.
So that will reduce you to sickened 1.
Right.
Which is just a -1 penalty on all your checks and DCs.
I got it. Okay. And then as he continues to retch and retch and retch, his mouth opens up. Have you seen that scene in The Mummy where he like yells and his mouth is all gross and like whatever? That's exactly what Kalidar does. He continues to retch, and then his mouth opens up super wide, and a swarm of scarabs fly out of his mouth. These little golden scarabs that are super sharp, and it's just making this intense noise, and it flies at this guy. He needs to make me a reflex save.
What the hell just happened? What is...
Kalidar just used his one and only spell. Yeah, Kalidar has a spell. Yeah. It's an ancestry feat called Yamarg's Grandeur.
Well,
or Yamaraj's, maybe.
I think he rolled appropriately for how prepared he should probably be for that. The 34. That's going to be his reflex save.
I'm going to have to figure something else out. That is not quite enough.
Yeah, I imagine that probably fails. Probably doesn't critically fail.
Pretty
it's probably fairly close, but...
so wait, what was it?
34.
It does not critically fail. That's
yeah.
So he's going to take 49 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then 2, 3, 4. We'll roll that. And he's going to take 17 points of persistent damage.
Wow. Okay.
Also
That's pretty
slashing.
good.
So they're just going to kind of...
Oh, they just keep doing
They're just going to kind of... Yeah, they're just going to scarab stuff to him for a while. Yeah.
They're just going to bug him.
So is that all you're...
They're going to bug him. Exactly. That was all I can do this round. Yes, sir.
So he is going to feel this these effects, this screaming and this whispering, and he is going to look at Rez, and he is going to look at the far door. He's like, my experiments! And he is going to zigzag across the room through the squares that the guards are in here, to kind of jet around past Roshin to this door that Kalidar has opened up. And he is not the fastest, so he's going to take a full action and move up to the door, look down the hall, then take an action to stop and kind of steady himself and look back at the guards and look down the hall and look back at the guards and then kind of come to his senses for a second and reach into his bandolier, pull out a small flask of something, and even in the motion that he pulls it, like, throw it overhand out towards Kalidar.
Very focused, this one.
Well, it's the center of the meat pile that's not adjacent to him, so I guess I'd throw it at Resme would be strictly better because it doesn't splash one guy and he's not dumb, so I'll throw it at Resme. He really likes blowing up Kalidar, though.
Nimble dodge.
I mean,
fair.
listen, I did just spit a bunch of scarabs at him.
He is actually going to throw it at Kalidar because Kalidar's slightly further from his main experiment desk and he doesn't want to blow it up super good. So one little flask flying Kalidar's direction
Not nimble dodge.
for a 57. He's
hit?
good at these.
Okay.
57 to hit. Yes.
Yeah, that's a critical.
That's a bomb. And as it hits, it is going to explode into flames.
Okay.
Both of the guards and Resme are gonna. Resme taking 4 fire damage. Lamau. Both of the guards are going to take 4 fire damage. Resme has resistance in a campaign called Age of Ashes by this point. And Bobby is going to take
Resme's just barbecuing.
44 points of fire damage as this thing explodes on you, and it's less like a concussive, it's less of a grenade and more of like a vial of like a Molotov. This is going to splash and just spray flaming liquid, mostly just splattering across you, kind of spraying everyone around you, but it's going to stick to you, and you too are taking persistent damage now. Welcome to the Persistent Damage Club.
Yeah.
Which is going to be for Lamau, because you also have fire resistance.
I do.
assume. So you're on fire, but you don't care. And then he takes...
Oh, I care dearly.
You care,
I love
he
it.
takes
It's great.
17?
Say
17
one more
what he
time?
takes?
He takes, yeah,
persistent?
17.
Let me see if that ends. It does not. As scarabs continue to whirl around and attack him. I get the first opportunity. Use your magics to mess with my mind!
I don't think it needed a lot of messing with.
Rez.
I mean, that's what I'm here for. It's actually the whole kit.
You are fools! Visionless!
Hey.
Do you know what we can accomplish?
So if you look really deeply, spirits
Just calmly explain.
spirits that are surrounding you can can tell you how you're going to meet your end. And by the way, they say if you throw something or hit someone in any particular way, you're going to have a really bad day. I'm going to cast Suspended Retribution on him. So if he makes a
What?
strike,
Pray tell is that.
It's awesome.
all right. I picked one trigger, which is him making a strike. If he
Okay.
makes a strike at his next turn, he takes 70 points of mental damage. It's a basic reflex save, or he can spend 3 actions to ward off the omens.
Don't you put that evil on me! I am the one distilling the essence of good and evil here!
70.
Still technically frightened one because it couldn't go down. So now, also,
Stuff right one.
by the way, Miss Roisin, you're in excellent form today. I want everyone to look at this spine specimen of physical prowess and martial ability and learn a thing or two, Kaladar. And I'm going to inspire courage.
Oh, pull the other one.
That's going to be my whole turn.
Did you inspire courage on all of us?
Yeah, everyone gets
I
inspire
was
courage.
like, is it just so really targeted inspire courage? Kaladar, you're messing up, dude. Get your shit together.
You can tell we've been missing sessions. We gotta get back in our game. Okay, resume.
I don't know. I'm not going to do anything with this syringe. Oh, to heck with it. Repel him. And I'm going to take the syringe and I'm going to telekinetic projectile it into the neck of one of the guards.
Your IV or
The syringe that I'm using the needle that I'm using.
you just fling your IV
I'm
at
just
one
gonna
of them.
fling my IV at one of them. I'm not drawing blood anymore. This is just stupid.
Well, you're drawing blood, just not on you.
Tackle. Slam an IV bag in one of their necks.
What? It's just the jugular. Oh no, this is too good. I gotta use a hero point on this. It's the only freaking time I get to use it.
You're doing a thing. We're rolling a dice. It's happening.
There we go. That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Baby.
The one closest to you, they're both fairly equally damaged because that Drain 2 did a lot. So who are you hitting? The one right next to you?
The one right next to me.
Slap. You see this thing slam into his neck, and immediately dark, almost like very faintly green tinged blood starts to pipe down into the bag as it just flails around him as he fights. You tell a guy projectile with a crit, it's embedded into him. Like the whole needle and part of the tube is like stuck in.
That's 88 points of damage.
What correct word?
Critical hit.
Crit, my dog.
Okay. One action left.
I'm gonna shield up. And then at the end of my turn, everybody in this area gets to make me a will save.
Enemies.
Enemies
Okay, I was like,
only. Enemies only.
Okay.
If they can't make will saves, they can't make will saves.
In the future, I think you should definitely describe that this is an ongoing effect that they can clearly see, experience, and could avoid if given the option.
They can't avoid it.
They could move away from it.
It's a 60-foot
It
burst.
doesn't go through walls.
Oh.
They could leave.
So
that
if he wanted to leave, then he could.
I'm going to definitely have that Warden Plus would not have just stood in here for no
fine.
reason. But the two guards are definitely going to make will saves. They're going to stand here. They're very, very going to stand here. So it's just like a visible thing?
Yeah, there's essentially the Anguish dead are flying around them, screaming at them, wailing about all of the injustices that have been done to them since their lives were taken.
So the same guard who failed last time is going to critically fail because he rolled a 1. And
Nice.
the other guard did slightly better. This is Will.
Yep.
31.
That's also going to be a critical failure.
Pretty sure it was.
So they are both frightened 3, and they are fleeing for 1 round or until they're no longer frightened, whichever comes first.
Okie dokie. So they immediately fly into a panic. It doesn't drain them any. Well, I guess the drain doesn't stack.
No, the drain doesn't
But
stack.
they're just terrified.
They're just
now that you said so.
terrified to the point of incoherence.
Okay. So, the one with an IV bag in his neck is immediately going to
He's
sprint
feeling a little drained.
towards the nearest door, which is the one that Warden Plus is in. So he's going to run, and you will see him full plate charge and just slam into the Warden as he pushes past him, sprinting up that hallway and out of sight. As he runs, this bag, almost kind of comically if it wasn't so horrifying, flailing behind him, you will see his neck where it's embedded well up and not over with a wad of skin that seems to be reactively healing over the injury.
Also, and I'm sorry because this is my first time using the spell, it is 100-foot emanation, the depart thing, so I don't know if he could actually get out
It's
of
around
that.
the corner, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't go through walls. It's an emanation. Walls block it.
Oh, they do?
Yes. So the other guard is going to sprint towards the door to the hallway and just take off down the hall
Bye, guys.
into the prison, using all 3 of his actions to run as far as physically possible down that hall into the prison itself.
I guess they decided to go home.
They don't say anything. They don't scream. They don't shout. They, other than the clanking of their armor and the stamping of their footsteps, wordlessly, in a clear panic, sprint their 2 different directions away from this vortex of mortal terror.
Bye, guys.
Roshin.
So, is that guard between me and the Warden, or did he push past the
No,
Warden?
he's gone.
He's gone.
He's
Okay.
gone wherever that hallway goes.
All right. Right. A bit weird there, but I have...
You won't see anything.
I'm very scary.
Is it not visible, like, to anyone else except
It's only
for
to them, right? Because it only affects enemies.
Yeah. I mean, that is how
That
I
makes sense to
interpret
me.
it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me.
It's only the people I'm trying to make feel guilty about everything they've done, so it's all in their head. That's why it only affects enemies.
I'm pretty sure you're not experiencing anything right
Yeah,
now.
it's just nothing.
I mean, Kaladar's on fire, but you know,
A little-
You-
what's
see-
new, what's new,
For
right?
effect, Resme will go, ooh.
So, Roshi is going to push past the Warden if she can. Can she push past the Warden to block
You're
the
gonna have
hallway?
to do like a tumble through, or you're gonna have to make like a sequence of athletics checks to keep pushing him with you.
So I can't get past him.
Because a friendly can get by, he'd have to let you by, and he's
Okay.
not going to let you, very, very not going to let you by as you try and move into the hall.
So, could I step over him if he was prone?
You would still have to tumble through, because he's still an entire body in a doorway trying to block you
Okay.
with a knife.
Get away from me!
No, stop it!
All
Resme,
right.
your bane. Link's here.
What else is
Hey,
there?
it's Link.
I was just waiting.
That took a long time, actually.
He held it. He waited. for
yeah,
his
yeah, I
moment.
waited.
So, Roshin is going to, the weapon in her hand is going to actually elongate, because I think I'm 10 feet away from him, and a hooked edge is going to come out as her weapon changes into a geese arm, and she's going to reach through the door and hook his legs to try to knock him to the ground.
Okay.
Some might call it a goose arm.
A goose arm. Honk.
No, they would be wrong. They might call it a goose arm. They'd be wrong.
I didn't say they'd be right. I just said they might call it
That's a
that.
6. So we've got a
Fine.
42,
Goose arms.
44,
Geese arm.
45. 45.
45 is going to knock him prone.
Cool.
He, you hook his leg and he collapses down the doorway there.
And then she's going to, let's see, he's knocked down, and I've got a multiple attack action, but you know what I don't have? You know, Warden, something occurs to me. You're probably a terrible person.
Just occurred to you, bud?
I've dedicated my life to improving all of humanity.
Schlitz! And crimson thorns are going to erupt and fill the corner of the hallway where he is. She's going to cast Massacre. That's a fortitude save.
That's a hell of a spell
Isn't that
name.
based? That's the based on what level he is thing. Or-
No, that's just
No,
a fortitude save,
this
and
is-
it's a lot of damage. If
Not
it
the
doesn't
thing I
work
thought
out
it
well
was.
for him.
This is just, spell level 8 type damage stuff.
Fortitude, you said?
Fortitude.
42. 1, because
it's a
he's
9.
frightened 1.
41. And he's drained for a cool failure.
Oh, drained is Fortitude save. 39.
Failure.
Drained does not stack with frightened. 40.
Fail.
I have a bless.
Still fail.
Okay.
It was a fail at 41.
The sun's in your eyes. It's a 41.
Emotional damage.
40.
He takes 100 negative damage.
I'm sorry, what? It's just a flat takes this much
Yeah.
damage?
If you fail.
Holy crap.
It's a level 9.
Boop. All right.
And is he dead?
No.
The energy will bounce off the wall and explode back towards Roshin, cutting through him and Roshin. We both take 30 negative damage.
What the hell?
Why are you such a masochist?
Okie dokie.
I love
You
that
only
spell,
do
by the way.
So
damage
this-
that does damage to you.
That is obnoxious.
Absolutely rips through him for a total of 130 damage, and you see it lash back into Roshin and rip through her as well, though she looks way better off than Warden Plus does, who looks pretty brutally injured at this point. Some of his bandoliers dangling, his clothes shredded. You can see the chain of the light mail he's wearing underneath poking through in several places.
And then lastly,
Oh, you have one left, right? Bonko.
Speed rune.
Speed rune.
turns into a halberd for a slash with a natural 20.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
that
my
makes sense.
God.
This
Bring
man,
Just
bring in the noise.
You're it there, bud, and I think Roshin has tagged you.
Angry.
Wow. That is
That man
When
is
it
not
comes to-
alive.
Oh no!
slaying evil.
The consequences of his
With a
actions.
minus 10 was the total?
It's a -5.
Oh, it's your second attack. You're right. That was a spell. All right, fair enough.
Hit?
I mean, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Just checking.
I mean, unless there's not -5, surely is not going to get you down to a not hitting him on a 20. So,
it's 74 points of slashing and negative damage.
so what happens to him?
So he gets tripped to the ground. The thorns erupt under his body, piercing him and almost lifting him into the air before Roshin is able to flip the halberd around and just bring it up through the middle and just bisect him. And then the thorns will vanish and the two halves of him will fall to the ground.
that was that was a monster round.
Leave. Yeah, that was a. Oh my.
That was a 204 damage round.
That was
amazing.
a round
that was
of
great.
things that happened.
I massacre. I had such plans for, and it met every single one of them.
Holy crap. That was pretty good. As he lays just in a burst of crimson thorns and his own blood across the ground, the other two guards having fled for the hills. One of them, wherever this goes, but he's gonna be running for a minute, so that's a problem for future us. I want to say, last opportunity before we move forward for the dice giveaway here. We're giving away a set of metal Norse Foundry dice. All you have to do to enter, it's live right now in the chat. NF dice, all capitals, no spaces, just NF dice, like Norse Foundry dice. I think there's only like 8 or 9 people entered right now. We're gonna pull the winner out of chat here momentarily. So this is your final opportunity to enter the Norse Foundry dice giveaway for tonight if you are interested. Free stuff. I was gonna say it was US only, but if you're serious about,
Yeah, I'm totally serious.
This man will solely pay the shipping to somewhere else if that's the problem.
If
we
you are
have,
up at 4 in the morning, I will pay for that.
He's
That's good.
cool. What a cool guy. But the room now falls silent, save for the soft crackling of the torches and their scotches around the room. Now blood spattered across the floors, the experiments, a couple smolders burning. You're still on fire.
I do not put it out.
Yeah, not that it seems to bother you that
Nope,
much.
that's good. Warms me up.
The only table, like this was a very quick explosion of violence here. The only table that's really damaged is like the southern cupboards where he pulled out some of the IV equipment from, and it's not even really damaged. He just got slammed into it a couple times, and some things are scattered across the ground. The stool's knocked over. But the room survived very surprisingly intact for a guy who was supposed to throw a bunch of bombs. So
Well, he got distracted.
Pathfinder happened. It's okay.
She-
Sometimes you just kill the guy and he doesn't do the stuff he's supposed to do on account of being dead.
Sheenie, there's not very many people I would say deserved that end, but he is definitely one of them.
I think it was a bit crazy, actually. Completely cracked in the head.
Oh yeah, naturally. You figuring that out?
Just after talking with him for a bit, he seemed a bit on the edge there, but it's hard to tell. I mean, honestly, you and he could have had an excellent conversation.
No, he droned on and on and on, talking all these words, making him sound smart, but it was all just the same repetitive words over and over again.
As Rads keeps talking, Kalar just keeps he just walks by. He's like, "This is gonna go on for a while, guys. I'm just gonna walk."
Roshin will walk over back to the front door, open it up, and come along, young wolf.
The front door is very open, and you do not see. You do not immediately see Anastasia there.
Coming along, or are you gonna be holding back a bit more?
You got like 100-foot hallway.
And she'll shout down it.
That's fair.
Suit yourself.
See, like slowly poking around the corner to that distance, Anastasia's head, her eyes wide, absolutely terrified. A screaming zombie guard with an IV bag stuck in his neck just ran past her.
No, the IV bag guy is over here.
They went both ways.
Yeah.
Right.
IV bag.
IV bag.
Oh, yeah, right. That was just regular guard that ran past her, not IV bag guy.
Still had on fire and stuff. Not great.
Little on fire, little smoldering, looked very wrong. She starts to work her way down the hallway towards you.
I really don't think it's good for her to see the scene that we laid out in this room.
I mean, there's nothing else here.
I'm not gonna coddle her. She's been coddled her entire life.
Yeah, but for a normal person to see a bisected man laying in a pool of his own blood, covered
rip
with
the Band-Aid off, Raz.
Kaladar, you're already making your way down this extra hallway here. It doesn't go terribly far. It only extends far enough to wrap around the side of the room before it hitches back, what must just be the other side of the wall from the northern end of the chamber, and then ends in a very crude, very thick and heavy wooden door. It's supported by beams of, or like sheets of iron laid across it at intervals, and has no immediate handle or lock of any kind. It's almost more like a solid, opaque portcullis than a door itself. And
it's closed?
It is closed. It appears to have been made very, very clearly with like weight and fortitude in mind. Even still, you can see several places where it has like cracked and dented outward a little bit.
Outward, like towards me.
Where's the guard that ran in that way?
No, not immediately there.
Anyways, I didn't notice any like hidden doors as I'm walking through here. It's just this door that's beaten outward. I'm gonna wait to open that door. As much as I don't want to, I want to open that door, but I am going to give my better judgment. I hear Roshin's voice in the back of my head saying, "Nope, not a great idea," and I'm gonna wait.
Anastasia gets towards the door, and as she gets closer, she gets probably about 10 feet away from the door and starts to see the blood strewn across the room in there. She stops, like 10 feet out from the eastern door.
No, on second thought, no, she's not coming in this room. That's fine by me. She can stay out here and wait. We'll come back and get her.
This is what the outside world is like.
Absolutely not.
This is the worst of it. It just gets easier from here if you can make it through this room.
This is the very, very worst of the outside world.
Do not have to force yourself to do
You
something
all look
don't
fine,
want
because
to
the
do.
only person who got stabbed is not here. So, like, you just have, like, you probably spray on you, but none of you...
Untouched.
You are great at tanking.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Breathe in, deep, and out. It's okay. You're doing great.
Absolutely not okay, but
Good girl.
Okay.
Come along.
Okay. She takes a couple steps forward. Looks over towards the...
Do not look what's in that tank.
Well, she's looking the other direction.
Good.
The much
Keep looking
where,
there.
the room, the immediately what would look worse to her is where most of the fighting happened, because that's most of the clear damage. And there's like a little trail of bloodied footprints from that one dude sprinting away, leading about to the door and very slightly further before he kind of ran out of things to stain the floor with on his metal greaves, sabatons, I guess. And she looks at that, is kind of focused on that until she gets far enough to see the opening to Warden Fliss's bisected gore pile of a body.
I'm gonna hold out something for her to throw up in.
And she, as soon as she sees that, her eyes immediately go wide, and she shoots back, like, to the side of the hallway, out of sight, with her hands up like she's surrendering. Bye, Minkari.
What did she say?
Bye, Minkari.
Sorry. Raz is going to just start telling a story, a fairy tale kid story he used to tell Mirabelle when she was little to help soothe her fears. I'm going to just be casting Inspire Courage the entire time he's talking. It's not much. You're probably going to have nightmares for months after this, too.
But after that, she'll be better for it.
They never get better.
You have to live like this.
No.
You see this every day.
No.
No.
Only when things go terribly wrong, my dear.
Horribly, terribly wrong.
We are the Trouble Patrol. They send us to the worst places possible to handle the worst things possible. Most people go their whole lives and never see anything like this. I promise. Before I came out and met all of these people and had all my friends killed, I promise you, I never even dreamed something like this could exist.
Very comforting. all my friends are dead. It's fine. Come along. Be one of my friends.
I think I soft played that one.
You did that. Him.
Well, it was mostly her. It was actually 100% her.
I would assume, just based on appearances.
That
What was your...
Keller pokes his head around the corner. You guys might want to see this. He's got hair, like, still flaming.
That man was evil, and he deserved to die.
He was doing a lot of inhumane experiments on people.
Plus, he swung at us first.
He's a researcher. He works with cadavers and volunteers.
Oh.
He's-
In his mind, anything that wasn't human wasn't a person. So that's a problem. That's a very big issue for me, particularly.
Yeah,
There aren't many non-humans on Hermea.
I wonder why.
Noticed.
I wonder what happened to them.
Those guards that were in this room, we managed to scare them off, but they're quite wrong in the head, I'm afraid. I don't know if they volunteered for that sort of thing, but I doubt they knew what they were getting into.
He was researching. He was researching
You know what he was?
nutrition.
Does that look like nutrition to you? She points to the boiling vat of
She can't.
fat.
That's out of her view. She's like, that's the little pass that she got to. Like her.
No, I'm gonna take her over and have her look at
We're gonna
it.
grab her and pull
Yeah.
her into the room.
Yeah, we're in.
Okay. You pull Anastasia in.
She wants to be in denial. This is not the time.
She's gonna look at the vats in the northern room and immediately he'll turn over and throw up on the floor.
Good. I was waiting for
Good
it.
girl.
Get it out. Yep.
A lava
I'm gonna
lamp
rub her
of
back.
flesh. That's what I'm picturing.
Yep. Breathe. In and out.
What is this?
This is Promise, my dear. This is your lovely little sunny sunshine home that is supposedly perfect.
This is good intentions done in the worst possible way.
When I told you there were snakes in the garden, you didn't think that was us, did you?
If this is what became of cadavers and corpses, it was for good, right? He was trying to learn how to deal with. Well, it's not scurvy technically, but
He was trying to extend the lives of humans by using Ellis's experiments.
He had a lot of things that he was working on.
she
seems.
looks at you. You're clearly in view now. Lightly stabbed, bloodied, clearly.
I pulled a syringe out of my back. Yeah, he was using this stuff.
I don't want to see any more of this. Can I wait in the hall?
Yes.
Will you still free me?
Of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I just and she'll walk back out into the hall past the door and just sort of sit down. Her face now not terribly far from one of the guards she's seen before, just staring at the wall in front of her. Mouth agape, mostly just blank expression. Her face absolutely pale.
You want to know the sad part? Less than a year ago, that was me.
Yep.
Read the journal on it. It'll help.
How old are you?
20.
And you get used to it.
No. But you start to realize that there's a lot of bad things in this world, and some of them just need to get killed. And if you're not going to be the one to do it, then you don't get to complain when it comes after you in the middle of the night and takes everything you love.
Okay.
Doesn't get easier, but you do get better at dealing with it. That's all I can promise you.
Just kind of nods, staring at the corner of the floor and the wall in front of her.
All right.
Oh, that's one more traumatized soul added to the resume.
Well, let's slight mood lightning. You guys want to give him some dice with?
Yeah, baby.
Dice away.
Let's do a slight mood lightning here. I'm going to lean over and look. We're going to draw a winner for this here. You've had the last chance is passed.
Not Link. Not Link. Not Link. Not Link.
Survey says Storm Ruler 558 in the chat.
Storm Ruler. Oh, baby.
Storm Ruler
Now,
558.
dice ruler.
If you're here at the moment right now, congratulations. You won some dice. If you're not, congratulations anyway. You're a regular on my personal channel, so like I'll find you. I'm sure I can figure that out. If you're not in my Discord, next time I see your name in chat, it will occur to me.
Or you could join the Discord.
Well, he is here. Awesome. If you have a Twitter or a Discord, because Twitch chat is an ephemeral and fleeting thing, it would be easiest if you could message you at UGT Show on Twitter or join our Discord down the link below if you're not already in there, so we can message you in there. And if your name in Discord is not the same as it is in Twitch chat, maybe just message us there too to let us know, and we'll get some dice over to you, show you the couple sets that we have, let you take your pick. We got more of them for later. That's today's giveaway. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for entering. Congratulations again, Storm Ruler. Now back to the horrors beyond human comprehension. So you follow Kaldar around to this big heavy-set door that he had found at the terminus of this small secret passageway.
Kaldar, how's those wounds on you looking? You okay there, buddy?
Oh, I'm
Are you feeling fine? You just rub some dirt in it and touch it. You're gonna rub some dirt in it. You're gonna be fine. I'm gonna cast some soothing on it.
And in the time that you've had, surely some like retching here and there would get you past the last of your second, and that would dispel as well.
I'm going to start looking for the horrific trap that wants to kill us. That
You're
is.
seeking. You're already doing that. Looking at the door here, you don't see any hinges on this side, but it looks like while it is thick, it is a fairly traditional door. It's going to have some pretty hefty hinges, which means if not visible, they clearly must be on the other side. This one opens in to whatever is beyond.
Didn't a guard run down this hallway?
Oh, yeah.
Resme, you got that little pocket mirror you were looking at. You use to touch up your makeup sometimes.
Resme will blink out and then blink into existence on the other side of the door.
You just imagine on the other side of the door.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No.
Where did you go?
I was hoping that
So,
something horrific was going to happen to me.
you
'cause I'm
guys-
bored.
Yeah. Yeah.
Want to roll me some initiative just to sort of organize whatever is happening right now, and then I will describe the room.
Yeah, it's about appropriate right there.
Oh no.
Always prepared.
That's not what I thought was gonna happen.
Why did you think anything else would happen?
I don't know.
I mean,
Okey-dokey.
I think you expected me to open the door.
Oh, You're ready.
I'm about to. Also appropriate.
Appropriate. No, that's
So what's
appropriate.
what's your initiative?
Who,
You know what?
name?
Resume. What's your
You know, I'm totally keeping that.
You should.
31.
30, what'd you roll, a 1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm keeping it though.
That fits.
Oh, no.
So all of you with the brief incantation, I'm sure you've heard a bunch of times before, see Resume disappear. You don't immediately, maybe you've seen it enough times to maybe kind of gauge what happened. Rashid.
36 as horror slows my.
Just this slow realization, like she wouldn't have. Surely, no, there's no way.
There's no way. There's no way.
Oh, Raz.
46.
Maybe just to be safe.
Raz is
Eldar.
So we don't have any bonuses from anybody else, right?
Just scouting.
That's a 50.
50.
That was a natural 20 on the die.
Okay. Oh, that's
We're
solid.
just been 4 apart from each other, like the 2 initiatives.
Yeah.
Kaladar and Raz are really in sync here.
I'm gonna roll
And unfortunately, so are they at the bottom of the table.
3 of these.
United
So we
in
have
horror.
a 42. We have a 49. That's 3. We have a 49. And we have a, what'd you get? 46?
Yeah, 46.
46.
Yep.
45. So, Kaladar, I'm not describing his room yet because nothing's happening there. Can you see Resume disappear? And she gets a bless from Bennett 360, just in case. And also, giving the Oracle who hit at the same time. You know what? I'll let you have 2 right now. I'll go ahead and let you. You can hang on to 2 of those.
Thank you.
I'll give it to you.
Did Roshin gasp in any way? Are you making noise? I mean, she would have been behind me. I wouldn't have really known.
Yeah, she would have been in the back. So,
I mean, what would Roshin's reaction be? It would be no way, and then maybe a glance toward the door with eyes widening, maybe. I guess that's probably as far as I would get. I haven't acted yet.
Good enough for Kaladar. He's going to try and open that door. Is it open inward or outward?
it does push open. It is quite heavy, and it seems to be literally just the weight of the thing. And as you start to push it, the way it's set into this hallway here, it has like inches of overlap on the stone wall next to it to stop it from being able to crumple in and through. But it swings in and reveals a room into which Resume has in fact just teleported, which is lined around its edges by more of these large glass
Flesh lava
storage
lamps.
containers, several of which are broken and shattered.
Good.
Quite a few. They're not all full. In fact, most of them aren't. There are a couple more undulating little flesh piles in a few, and a couple of them have the same thing that seems to be crawling around the middle of the room. I'm going to do my best to describe whatever the hell this horrific sin against all of God's creation is.
Please tell me they're not flesh golems.
It literally looks worse than that. You see 3 amalgams, is the best word I can think of human parts. They are entities of limbs and heads and torsos stitched together with seemingly no cause. But they're not stitched. They're not Frankensteined. They are fused. They are together as one entity, whatever they are. Some of them have been affixed with other parts. Some of their hands have been replaced with metal hooks or claws. Some of them have what appear to be like curling, almost tails of what looks to be excess spine extending out beyond some of their torsos. All of them are warped and built with stacks of flesh and muscle and agonized expressions over whatever errant, scattered faces they have. They are truly awful
This is a lovely room of death.
to behold.
Oh, okay, it's not that big.
Yeah, it fills the whole room.
No. And Resume, they are not massively large. They are like a little bit of a sizable amount bigger than a person. They're kind of scattered throughout the room, probably like so. All of them with their attention, faces contorted in pain and rage towards the lady that just appeared in the center of the room.
Hey guys.
You have 2 actions left, Calder.
Okay then. I'm not even gonna. Lord Boneyard, I don't think is gonna. I mean, it would definitely tell me pretty quickly that these are.
This would definitely be an occultism check.
Okay.
If you wanted to attempt to identify,
I mean,
speaking directly to the soul of our bard.
Yeah, right.
yeah, no, I'm good. Kalidar doesn't really care about occultism. He knows that this looks pretty gross and undead because he's from the Boneyard. He's seen weird crap like this come through the Boneyard all the time. Okay then. You guys should have stayed dead there, eh? And he's just gonna charge in for the one that is like just 10 foot forward.
Just straight into the fray.
Straight into the fray. So I had that was.
There's 2, so you got 1 left for your
Great.
babap.
Yep, my babaps.
You babaps.
My babaps. Oh, I lost that die.
These are horrible.
They are super gross.
Abominations.
And I imagine they smell bad. Hey, bud, you smell bad. You should take a shower there.
The room does not actually have like an incredible, like they don't have a massive stench. The room does not smell good in a way that like it doesn't seem like it's been maintained very well. And this is the first room, probably the first room you've seen in all of Promise that looks like it's just been kind of left to its own devices. These smashed things, shattered glass kind of across the floor, errant stains all throughout the stonework. Notably, as you come in, you would also see the guard that had run in here prior. One of these things has most of him in 2 of its hands. One of them has an arm that a head is trying to chew on, and there's a leg just kind of off in the corner somewhere.
Gotcha.
Things are awesome.
Yeah. So I rolled a 1 on the die, which means that thank you, Kaga. I'm going to re-roll that one because I don't like that.
No one
It
likes
was
that.
no good. That's much, much better. It's the opposite side of the die, which
Oh!
happens to be a natural 20.
Goosta. Well, the good news is
Yeah.
you literally can't do worse than the natural one, so you're always going to get value here, pointing out. Oh, well, you're not always going to get value, but it will never get worse than you started at.
That's right. This thing was it, by the way, so that's a 53. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, 53 to hit.
That's going to critically hit.
Great. Let me go over here. Actually, we'll do one more because if they have damage reduction, it will matter. That's a 15 on the die, plus 32 is some large number.
47 walls.
There you go. Is
You got
just
a crit
regular
and a hit.
Got it. Okay.
So just triple your damage. And your fists seem to, the blades on your fists, I assume you start with slashing, right? Slashing's default.
It would be slashing, yes.
The blades on your fist sink into their flesh as well as any other. But once you get past that initial bite and they start to plunge, they're not, even though they seem to be just made of like these meshed human parts, they seem to be almost entirely like bags of muscle and sinew. And they are not resistant to slashing or anything, but they are much hardier than you would expect what are functionally a bunch of unarmored, horrible experiments to be.
Excellent. That's gross. They're not demons, are they?
No.
Okay. Do they suffer from any kind of mental? Can they be mentally?
They
frightened?
can take mental damage, yes.
Excellent, because I crit, so they are frightened too.
Oh, he's absolutely frightened too.
And he will take the nicest of all damage, 69 points of damage.
Nice.
There was holy in both of those as well.
They are, at this point, evil.
Excellent.
Do they bear
That is
arms?
my turn.
69 was the crit and a regular hit.
That was right. That was
Okay.
It was the damage I rolled times 3.
Fair enough. Okie dokie. So
And it overcomes DR, so they're combined.
Yeah, they don't resist the slashing, so
Got it.
that's fine. They are just kind of guys. They're just sort of weirdly hardy guys.
Beefy.
The one in the middle of the room is going to act out first. And this is the one that has the majority of the guard's body here. And seeing the group of you run in is immediately just going to drop it on the floor and seemingly reach out for very possibly the same thing it just did. Resme appeared first. It doesn't seem massively quick to react to changes in stimulus, and just letting out like a low groaning moan it reaches out for you with a series of hands coming out at strange angles, just slapping towards you.
Unexpected transposition
Okay.
You can put me there.
is going to reach out for Kaladar.
I mean, let's go with it. What's the purpose of being a meat sack if I can't be?
Kaladar, help!
Oh God! If it isn't the consequences of my actions.
Kaladar, my guy.
Hi.
Can I interest you in a rousing bout of 43?
It was AC.
AC, yes.
That
43
is,
touch.
that is a hit.
All right.
Unless you have a Bane. You have a Bane?
I have a bless.
No, that's not fair.
The opposite
Chat,
thing.
do your job.
With a 43, as a couple of these arms slam into you, you are going to take 44 points of bludgeoning damage. And this thing is going to grab you and pull you in with several of these hands. And you are going to feel different limbs, different arms pulling on you in different directions, crushing you in this embrace. I need you to make me a fortitude save.
Okay then. 17 plus 30 is a 47.
47 is a regular success, so you're going to take half. You are going to take 21 points of bludgeoning damage just from this thing giving you an incredibly
You're gonna give me a little hug there, bud. Okay, well we're gonna get friendly.
And the rest of you can clearly see this thing like reaching around and sort of crushing Kaladar's embrace. You are grabbed, if that did not go without saying as well.
Yep.
Raz.
First action is I'm gonna go up to the door.
Okay.
That way I can peek my head in and see everything that's happening. I do have an exploration action of recalling knowledge at all time. Can I get that?
Yeah. What's your party knowledge / occultism?
Occultism is a plus 32, but I'm gonna expend a use of one of my prepared pocket libraries to give it another +2, so plus 34.
Solid. Looking at these, you, for better or worse, they're what they look like they are. These are
Delicious.
the end result of whatever horrific experiments Warden Plus had been performing down here. They have been engineered to be phenomenally strong. That much is readily apparent. But their minds have all but wholly left them. The way they're reacting, the way they're moving and attacking towards Kaladar is completely animalistic. These do not have any more intelligence than a wolf. Perhaps, possibly even less than that. They don't look like they're gonna pull out any fire breath or anything. It doesn't. They're not resistant to anything. They don't appear to be resistant to anything or weak to anything. They are just horrible abominations that at this point are like unmatched in raw physical strength.
They are living though,
They are living,
and they do have a mind.
and they do have a mind.
Cool. I'm gonna look at the one directly in front of Resume. I wonder if they know humor. Hey, have you heard about the world's largest herb? It's a pretty big deal. I'm gonna cast hideous laughter on it. I love that joke, by the way. I came with that one at work.
Show's over. I'm done.
All right.
Okay, will save.
Yeah, we'll save, please.
Arcadis is leaving.
Arcadis is left. Yeah, we don't have a
He's
showrunner.
bye.
We're
Bye,
done.
Arcadis.
He went somewhere else.
Out the door.
So, it's
kinda nice.
They have a mind, like, technically.
Technically.
It's also frightened too, by the way, if it matters.
That bottom one is, in fact, frightened too. He's going to get a 34 on his will save.
Does not critically fail.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
Good job,
he's
Zach.
one off.
I don't have a bane, I have a bless.
Come on, chat.
He's slowed one, can't use reactions for a sustained amount of time.
Okay. So, frightened 2 and also slowed 1.
And it's now
then-
giggling, I guess.
And having a laugh.
Oh.
I just kind of start laughing at myself, and that innocent laughter of a rat brings an inspires everyone else's defense, because if Raz can find humor in this situation, who can?
Most people.
Remind again what
Inspired Defense gives everyone a 60-foot emanation a +1 to their AC and all their saves.
So that
And also DR5 against all physical.
southern one who is absolutely just losing his mind giggling, who has been slashed open, blood just spraying out from these wounds as you strike them, as if every hit that you land cut through some kind of artery. A brief spray followed by less bleeding than you would expect for so critical a wound. A strange anatomy inside these creatures indeed, as you can see one face smiling and literally this deep guttural laugh as it rears up and just slaps down towards Resme with a bunch of hands.
That is
just
the worst thing I've ever
giggling and
seen
reeling.
ever.
horrifying.
It's just
Maybe that wasn't a good
horrifying.
idea. That made the situation
You
worse.
didn't need to add a horrifying sound.
I want
Gross.
AJ to do the laugh, honestly.
53.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That
50, yeah, that's what, no, I got French in there, 53, yeah.
so I have a bless, so that is I can't use it to
Nope,
do that.
It's on your dice.
Huh?
He uses on your rolls.
Oh, okay. No, I thought we were allowed to use them on ACs.
We don't have defensive, no, we don't have defensive blesses and banes.
Yet.
Well, because that just gets into like, well, I also have a bless. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Fair enough. Okay, that's a crit.
Critical hitical. Okie dokie. So you are going to take 67 because of Inspired Defense
Thank
points of physical damage as this thing smashes down upon you and like grabbing on the different parts of you, and you see it physically bodily pick Resme up as it's like laughing. At first it almost doesn't even look like it's attacking her. It's just using a lot of force, and it doesn't seem to have a great amount of motor control. So it ends up like picking her up almost like crowd surfing, like it's happy, before one arm is like pulling down a leg and another arm is like pulling her back over one of its shoulders, and it looks exceedingly painful.
Worst
It's a
massage ever.
slowed one, so that's all it gets to do. The other one is going to scramble down on a bunch of arms, almost like sideways dragging itself towards Kaladar, dropping the guard's arm that it had, as you are in the grip of the other one, and it seems upset as it reaches out and trying to pull Kaladar away from the other one of the horrible aberrations. You are grappled, which makes you flat-footed.
It's fine.
Okay.
55, because I rolled the same thing, but this one's not frightened
Yeah,
too.
go ahead. Why not? Let's throw a bludgeoning crit
I
at
have
me.
rolled
I haven't had a bludgeoning crit yet. Let's do that.
Phenomenal fire on attack rolls today. Holy crap. I've rolled amazing on attack rolls and so bad on saves consistently through this entire
Remember,
stream
chat,
so far.
rolling low on initiative is good for your health.
You can't go into the boom. You are going to take 80 points of bludgeoning damage.
75?
As these two...
Is that before or after the DR?
That's before, so 75 points of
75.
bludgeoning damage. As these two start to get into a fight like a dog over a bone, pulling and
It's okay,
pushing
boys. There's plenty of me to go around.
as much at you as they are at each other. And you were double grabbed. That's not a thing. But they both have a hold of you. And it's going to raise up some of its fists, and it is going to swing down and attack the other experiment. And it's sort of like, it's such a pile of limbs that it can extend and reach out a surprising distance. It is literally going to make an attack roll against the other one. Now I roll a 3.
They're used to each other.
They do this all the time. It's just like-
They just give each other a high five.
and it is just going to kind of like hit as the other one is just sort of fending it off, and it's going to bring those arms back down and just try to bring them all to bear on bringing Kaladar. Oh, now it's 3. It had moved over, so that's all it's got. And then go back to trying to pull at you. And Roshin, you're just watching this.
All right, Milani, get me strength.
Mom, help.
I'm not restrained, right? I'm just grappled.
You're just grabbed.
Okay.
You got him on the ropes, Kaladar.
You are restrained because the attack with the grab trait crit, so the grab also crits. So you are now restrained.
Okay.
Oh boy. Which means Resme is also restrained.
Oh, you're both restrained.
Oh
Right?
God. All right.
I mean,
So Roshin is going to rush up, I guess adjacent to the both of them, between the two things, effectively flanking herself, but the ones up north seem a bit distracted.
Duck under Kaladar is pulling and dragging.
Yeah, so she could be adjacent to Resme and Kaladar.
Oh, over to the other side. I see. Okay.
And I guess one thing at a time. Kaladar seems to have an incredible talent for taking a beating, so try to get Resme
I'm
out
good,
of it
bud.
first.
No worries here.
So with a move up, and I've got not as many actions as I would like, but I guess it is what it is. The thing's flat-footed. Kind of plant her feet, bring the sword up for a massive downward power.
Yeah, they're all flat-footed because they're all grabbing.
Yep.
Kaladar's a dog toy and Resme's in hell in a cell right now. Like, we've gone back to 90s WWE.
44 versus their flat-footed.
44 will hit the flat-footed.
Excellent.
And this is the same one on the south that's grabbing Resme that's already injured, right?
Correct. All right. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Someone in chat at the start of this fight, I think it was Jaded Tempest, said, maybe they just want hugs. And I saw
they
it and I
do.
was like, he's not wrong. That's the thing we're going to do.
Not wrong.
I want all the
So
hugs.
36.
36 points of damage.
Yep. And then Speed Rune will slash through it again for just maybe fishing for a 20. That's a 7. Nope, not going to hit it. I don't. No, it's minus 10. Yeah, so 31.
Oh, because you power attacked.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Resme, you are restrained, so the only action you can take is to attempt to escape this grab.
I can't talk.
You can take purely mental actions, but
Cool.
the only
Then I can
physical-
cast.
If you got a verbal only, you can blood component. You absolutely can.
So you will see Resme blink her eyes a couple of times, and you'll see purple light flare up, and she will blink.
You still
disappear.
need to make the failure check for being grabbed, though, so it is still the flat check.
Oh, it's on the concentrate? It's not on the somatic components?
It's on casting.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, it actually is a manipulate action. I guess you
It's
can
an
go with
18,
your
so it's a-
concentrates. Yeah, I guess you're actually good.
Okay, it doesn't
You're
matter.
right.
I rolled an 18.
So-
She will blink out of existence and blink back into existence behind Raz.
Good place for you.
Seems like a good idea.
Probably smart.
And then she will be like, it would be better if you were on fire. And I'm going to use my one action produce flame to light the thing that I get once per day to light the thing in front of me on fire.
Make me an attack roll. Haven the Oracle
Flamus.
GM, these are indeed big damage rolls. That laughter was too killer clown adjacent for the chorophobe. I have a bane now. My blast.
Yes!
I'm gonna use my blast.
About time.
That was deserving.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 37.
37 is not gonna hit
There's the
it.
consequences.
Come back around to the top to Kaladar, our resident dog toy, who is also restrained.
All right. So what do I need to do to get out
So
of
you
this
need to
scenario
make an
here?
escape action, which lets you use either acrobatics, athletics, or an unarmed attack roll, which is only different because you don't get your runes to it. So it'd be a -3 for you at this point on your normal attacks. 2 attempts versus their athletics DC to attempt to pull yourself away.
Okay.
Athletics are an attack to overpower or punch your way out, or acrobatics to try to wiggle out.
Athletics and attack are the same thing. They're just a +30 here. Wait, you
Doesn't
inspire
matter.
Defense.
defense. That's
I'm also going to take 8
Okay.
points of damage.
I also have a bless because
Okay.
Storm Ruler, fueled by his victory in the giveaway, encourages violence. Bless back.
Mean. You don't need more encouragement. That's a 42.
42 will fail.
Okay.
As you attempt to
yeah.
pull back against these. You can, doesn't critically fail, you can try again.
Does my condition go down 1 if I just failed?
It's an all or nothing
Okay,
condition, but
got
it
it.
does only last 1 round. Like grabbed and restrained, they have to do it again to keep you grabbed
Got
and
it.
restrained. It's
And
not persistent.
So was that just 1 action?
So that's 1 action. It does have the attack trait. So you do have
Now I have a
minus
-5.
full 5, yeah, because you have nothing that modifies this.
But you're going to get a 20, so it's
Just roll-
irrelevant.
now
That's
we're
right.
probably already in roll 20 territory, honestly.
Negative. That's
Do it
not gonna
again.
happen. I'm gonna try one more
We'll see
time.
if the 20 even does it.
Nope.
Okay,
That was
so
even worse.
You restrained bed. You are stuck, and you see Kaladar writhing and wiggling and trying to get out.
Right? Kaladar is biting them because he's kind of immune to sickness at this point. He's wretched everything in his stomach out. He's
That's
just gonna
fair.
bite him. I mean, it's not going to do anything. It's fine.
This first one that grabbed onto you in the center of the room on the north side of Roshin is going to immediately just try to he's like slamming the whole construct that has all of these arms and you on the floor repeatedly, just trying to slam you away from the other one, which is functionally going to be 55 to hit.
He'll take another crit.
Because I rolled the same thing again.
Are you using that die?
Are you using the death die?
I'm using the Pathfinder die.
Stop using that
I thought it
die!
was the Age of Ashes die that kills you, wasn't it?
No, it's the Pathfinder one.
power
Well, it
spread.
is doing it.
Fine.
It is,
Caladar's from the boneyard.
It's the plague boulder.
To the boneyard, he
It's
returns.
all
you are
right.
going to take 74 points of bludgeoning damage
Is that all you got there, bud?
before he pulls his arms back.
Did he let me go?
He let you go. The other guy's still grabbing you.
Oh, okay.
He gave up. So he now sees that Roshin is right next to him and a free thing. And just go for you.
Hang on a minute.
43. No, this is not the right one. 43.
Wait.
To hit.
To hit. 43. Okay. Inspired defense is up. And it's, I'm on 42. Yeah, he hits me.
I have a
Wait, do you have a pain?
we switched the bit of pain! Gustavus swapped it again! But 42 still hits you, so that's your AC.
42
You would
42
need
hits
to
me,
be
yeah.
one higher. We got excited in advance because the number was one off. I do have a bane now, though. Oh, it's so close! You're not dirging. This guy's not frightened one. No, it doesn't. So he is going to smack you for 33 points of bludgeoning damage. Oof. Welcome to Hugtown. He's found his own toy. He's got this one now.
He's got me grabbed.
You are grabbed. Rez, you are watching
Horror.
whatever this is.
Okay, question.
Just a
How
little hugfest.
How tall is the ceiling?
15 feet.
15 feet. All right. I'm going to scamper up to the top of the ceiling.
Okay. Now,
Out of
you
reach.
have seen them reach pretty far. You feel like they can reach the ceiling.
Maybe. I don't know. I've seen him reach out 10 feet. I haven't seen him reach 15 feet.
Well, but they are the first 5 feet.
That's fair.
Right.
You
I'm
feel like it's not out of their reach.
I'm still going to come up here.
Fair enough. Makes you feel better. That's fine.
It does make me feel better. And now, one hand on the harmonica that is still existing.
Toot toot.
Raz is going to play expertly now that he has some time to practice a very sad and melodic tune. I'm going to cast Canticle of Everlasting Grief because they can feel laughter, they can
You're
feel
gonna cast
sadness.
what?
Canticle of Everlasting Grief.
Sounds
Making,
pleasant.
just
They're gonna
making stuff
cry.
up now.
On
That's
the
not a
one,
real spell.
They gonna
on the
cry.
one to the north of us, the one that has Kaladar in its hands.
Okay.
He needs to make me a will save, please.
Oh, he's great at those.
Please critically fail.
Healing.
Those are what Tiggers do best. Did he roll 20?
No.
What'd you roll?
I got 29.
He critically fell.
God.
That was not a nat one.
Oh my god.
That's what I like.
I love
like
this
it.
spell, by the way. It's one of my
like
favorites.
it.
So now
So
he hears it. As he hears it, he's filled with unbearable grief as he takes 20d6 mental damage.
That's some Kaladar level stuff.
And now him and all his allies within 15 feet until the curse is broken.
It's a curse.
It's a curse.
You cursed him.
Yeah.
Until the
His
curse-
life is this suffering, and you cursed him too.
and all his allies within 15 feet of him cannot benefit from circumstance bonuses or status bonuses until the curse is
I don't think
broken.
they have any of those. Okay, that's good to know. If one of them pulls out a magic
Yeah.
lute and starts barding,
But you know what? 20d6. And he's very sad.
and he's very sad.
62.
62 points of mental damage. As you see this one, he's got Kaladar in his hands here, and he pulls you away and like turns around towards the wall, like away from the other
Oh, and he's
one.
frightened 4.
Just slide that one in there. Frightened 4 also.
All right.
And he takes you, and then you see in one of his faces, it's like in the center of a set of shoulder blades on one of his 2 torsos that seem to be like chest to chest, little offset here. One of his faces just kind of slams you into the top of his body with this weird assortment of arms, and you just hear.
I am so depressed.
Awful.
You have one laughing
horrible.
maniacally, and
Awful.
One of them's laughing maniacally.
then bonus action, effortless concentration to keep that up.
He's still losing it in the south. He's losing his mind laughing.
This is the worst thing ever.
Gosh,
There's a horrible encounter.
so am I still totally restrained?
You are, if anything, extra restrained. You're his teddy bear now, dude. You got, like, you.
He is so sad.
Here's emotional
I'm his
support animal.
Just keep doing that, Kaladar. You're doing great. It's amazing. A good view up here too. Inspire defense.
Oh my god.
That's my whole turn. That's a whole lot of action.
Oh man, I'm still way down in the freaking.
The
Okay.
southern one is losing his mind laughing. Sees Raz on the ceiling. As just like stretches and extends up and hears whatever like harmonica music is coming from you and just reaching like grabby hands towards you.
Stuffed rat.
Unexpected transposition. I'm gonna put the one
there.
No, the one that's grabbing Roshin.
Okay.
So we'll save from him, and we're gonna switch places.
41?
Fails.
Yes, woo!
Man, I high rolled! Come on! Raz is going to teleport to the ground. Several things happen. First of all, Roshin gets dropped immediately as a rat appears in front of you. Second, a giant man spider appears on the ceiling. Third, the giant man spider falls. 8 points of bludgeoning damage and lands kind of upside down in a crumbled heap. Resme, you can't like see either of them from the back of the doorway here, so you just hear, you see Raz scamper away, hear a spell, and just see whoop into the ground.
Checks out. That checks out.
Just appears. I'm gonna say he just misses on account of the target not being there.
That's
anymore.
fair.
He's like reaching and he just falls and he just looks confused. Still uses the attack, but he just looks confused. And he like looks around and he looks at Roshin and Raz. And he just kind of turns.
Roshin looks confused too.
Turns back to Rez and is just reaching over, big grabby hands towards Rez, several other arms reaching around Roshin, arms reaching out towards Kaladar, and he is going to attempt to grab everybody. Just reaching out with a bunch of limbs now. We're gonna get it this time for sure.
Group hug.
Hug it out, my boys.
Roshin is going to. Is this an attack target?
This is going to be an athletic check, yes, so it is an attack.
Roshin, Mother's Mindfulness, is going to shove Raz out of the way so that she becomes the target of the grab on Raz.
Okay, fair enough. Does it actually move him?
It does not actually move
fair
him.
enough. So you just barely get him out of reach of these grasping fingers. And this is going to be at a -5, an athletics check versus everybody but Raz and Resme. So I get Roshin and Kaladar. He's very confused.
We're all very confused.
It's gonna
You're
be.
confused, man. I'm confused.
It's a 34.
Yeah, no.
He's,
Actually.
versus your fort DCs, which I'm surely 34 is not beating anybody's
His
41
roll,
DC.
his
Yeah.
roll is a 34.
It might be Raz's.
No.
No, I don't
doesn't?
think that would
4DC
even grab
36.
Raz. He was really wanted Raz. He's just kind of reaching for
I'm
everything,
cuddly.
but he still didn't get it because he somehow
You are
blocked
kind
everything.
of a chew toy.
And then this is the one who has no emotional baggage right now. But now he just pulls all of his arms back and just hitting the floor like a toddler throwing a temper tantrum.
And it's a sonic attack.
No, he's just throwing a tantrum. The extremely sad man who is holding on to Kalador
Okay.
is going to just
It's okay, bud.
continue kind of enveloping you.
No worries, bud. It's okay. We're gonna get you out of here real soon, bud.
Maybe a diplomacy check.
I'm sorry. What?
Make me a diplomacy check.
Oh. Okay.
Whatever you got.
I'm not super good at that, but. 13 plus 19 is 20 or 34, 32. I know how to do math.
32. You're trying to comfort him. He is just going to continue enveloping you in the cocoon of tears and sadness.
Yeah.
He's
I got it.
frightened 4, so that's a big old penalty to his attack roll, which is going to be a 46.
It still hits me. Yeah.
All right, and then
Not a crit.
Doesn't crit.
not a
Yeah,
crit. So you're no
still
longer restrained.
Oh,
you are
okay.
now regular, because again, it only lasts for 1 round. You have to do
Regular
it again.
grab.
So you are regular grabbed.
Got it.
And you are going to take, mega low roll, 27 points of bludgeoning damage.
Excellent.
And as he just kind of continues to crush and hold you here, make me a fortitude save.
You just hear Kaladar go silent. I don't need to make that fort save. Unless you're going to kill me.
Are you...
I am passed out.
You are passed out, then you will go to dying 1 and then immediately to dying 2 from the damage of the strength of the embrace, as you all hear and see Kaladar kind of stop struggling.
I'll take care of that.
Roshin.
Okay, so little concerning there.
Hug.
Hugged. He got hugged.
I got hugged to death.
That's a lot of crits. You got crit a lot.
He got crit.
I think I
crit like
rolled
4
19
times.
on
Yeah.
the hit die 3 times in a row.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I got pretty critted.
And then like 2 on a save twice in a row. So it really is just, I am a glass cannon today.
Resme, dear, if you could take care of Kaladar, please.
Not a
busy.
problem.
I'm no longer grabbed. It got teleported. It's down there. And it mistook me, so I'm okay.
You're chilling.
I'm chilling.
You're as chilling as you can be in this room.
All right.
The one that's immediately adjacent to you is the one that's very heavily damaged, that has been piled into the most. And
Okay.
it's the one that is still losing its mind with laughter.
Fair enough. She's going to, all right, so it's losing its mind with laughter, but it's otherwise not mentally affected by anything.
Yeah, it's just slowed right now.
So
Frighten
she's
has worn off.
She's going to kind of like, after she's shaken free, kind of look at it and narrow her eyes. Right, we need one less creep in the room. You're the way, you're it. And scare to death.
But his will save is so bad.
It is. It is, isn't it?
But mummy.
Okay.
I got a big sword in my hand. Can I get intimidating prowess?
Absolutely. And he's also like pouting right now, so.
Oh, I can't let a natural 1 happen.
Oh, you got roll.
Kaga.
Yay!
Thank you,
Help.
Kaga.
Thank you, Kaga.
Help.
Oh, that's good.
That's pretty good. That's a 14. That's going to be a 50.
That critically succeeds.
Oh, he's got a, what is it now? Fortitude
Now it's a fortitude
Now
save.
it's a fortitude
Now
save.
it's a fortitude save. He can do those probably.
It is incapacitate on this particular save, so if he's higher level than
He is
me,
the same level of you, which is not kick in incapacitate, right?
Cool.
Okay.
Correct.
Which one did you do this to? The one that's holding me?
no,
the
the
southern
one
one.
south of me.
The one that's crying. The one that's laughing.
Got it.
Or both.
43.
And that's my
Intimidate DC.
It's a 44. So it's a normal fail.
So he takes a lot of damage, I'm pretty sure. We critically failed, and then he fails, is just dead, actually. Critically fail into fail is scared to death.
That's actually
Because
scared to death.
it's not double critical. He has to be critical the first one, he has to pass the second one, or he takes all the damage. So you,
Yeah.
one last creep in the room, he's already pretty injured. The force of his tantrum, you look at him, he looks up at you and just... Tantrum over.
Right. You then. And gonna look across to the frightened one. Kornakinana, and the sword is going to extend out into actually a broad-bladed spear with a crossbar on it. This is a boarding pike. And she's
Pirate?
going- Huh?
So what are you, a pirate?
Yeah.
For a second?
It's called a boarding pike. I imagine a boar spear would also be appropriate too.
You're going to board him to the boneyard.
That's it. That's it right there. And she'll go
All
into a
aboard.
high guard and stab over into the one that's currently crushing Kaladar to
I
death.
will give you that he's still flat-footed from focusing on the grab, because realistically, he has not even noticed that Kaladar is dying.
Oh, fair enough. I'll happily take it. So
He's also frightened for.
That's true.
He's a -6 to his AC right now.
He's a feared.
so true
Let's see,
strike.
you get to be an enemy. I'm pretty sure your attack modifier is pretty much his AC right now, because he has a -6. You get to do what I do to you guys.
Very exciting. Very exciting. So let's see here. 34, 39, 49.
49's a critical hit.
Woo! Critical hit.
Wow.
All right. So I'm
Even if I didn't give you flat-footed, 49's a critical hit. Just on the frightened 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, and I didn't cast, so it's going to be that plus that. And we're
There
looking.
was a lot of taps on that screen.
There's a lot of taps.
He's pretty hurt from he took a lot of mental damage too, so he is not uninjured.
Wow, that's a good
so
roll.
that's 84 piercing damage as I spear him up against the wall.
And that pike is going to stick through, find purchase, and punch through that layer of muscle and sinew and just impale him down to the wall as he goes limp and drops Kaladar's body on the ground. So that's 1 and 3 that are gone.
Okay, and then spin the spear over her head with the speed rune, and just maybe I'll get a I'll get a 20.
Fishing for a
We'll
20.
see what happens.
Here we go.
It's down there.
Do it big.
That's a 10. It's only -5. Probably not though. That's 5 and that.
That one has no debuffs at all.
Oh, so it's a 39. So
Nada.
probably not. Yeah.
Miss Resme. That's the up. So he's prone actually, so he is flat-footed because he fell off the ceiling. But Resme.
Blessed plus prone. Okay.
I'll come and poke my head in the room.
Well, you can get to like the doorway. You can come up adjacent to this flailing pile of.
But I
thing
can
in
see
front of you.
Kaladar, right?
You can see Kaladar around the corner. Yes.
Oh, you look a little in the boneyard. That's not good. Donum vitae! I'm gonna pump me a level 9 heal into my friend over there.
Wow.
So while you're getting some hit points back, you're gonna wake up wounded one on the floor, prone, next to the impaled corpse of the best friend you've ever had.
You need the best hugs.
Yeah,
This guy
it was great.
on the ground, still prone, not even getting up, is just flailing out of raw confusion in every direction, lashing out with limbs to everyone that he can reach, which is everyone.
Oh, he's long, but he's got
10
arms.
foot does 2 diagonal, right, for purposes of weapon reach? It's for purposes of weapon reach
yes,
only, yeah. So
explicit, well, no, that's an explicit exception of the reach tag. So
it is the reach tag.
Then it totally
it's
works.
the reach on his attack.
Yep,
so
totally works.
it is everyone. So he's going to make 1 athletics check at a -2 because he is
So
prone.
that's 122. Take
32.
132 points of health back.
Excellent.
Man.
And it's going to be a
Nipple
43 versus Fortitude DCs for everyone.
Got me.
40.
No
Kaladar's
stats
hugging
succeeds.
again.
I will. Is this the same attack thing?
This is the same attack.
I'll cover Raz and keep him out of the way.
Does it grab you?
It does grab me.
Okay, so he'll pull you in next to him, and I assume grab a hold of everybody but Raz, as for a second time now, Roisin just bumps Raz just out of the range of
For
these
all her faults, she is an angel.
mindless hands. And as he pulls everyone into what is the greatest writhing pile of limbs we have had yet this encounter, I need everybody to make a fortitude save. Because he grabbing.
Everybody,
And now, was
including
that
Raz,
a
or
hit
everybody?
Not Raz. Everybody who's been grabbed.
Okay.
That was the grab.
But Raz is
so he
helping.
didn't do an attack. He just grabbed.
Raz is cheering. Raz has just got some pom poms.
You got that +1.
Yeah, this is a different thing. This wasn't like the
okay.
fact that he has grab
So
on his
this
attack.
is-
This was just a different ability.
This is the one I haven't debuffed.
Yeah, that one's fine. He teleported into the ceiling. That's all that's happened, really. So, Kaladar,
41.
41 succeeds.
Hey,
Roisin,
Kaladar wakes up. and-
succeeds. Resume's reached for a hero point, so I assume it didn't go well.
Did
Not
go
very well, no.
It did not go well, so I think I'm going to use it.
It could get worse.
Thank
though.
you, Kaga. It could get much
could
worse. But
always
you know
get
what?
worse.
It could always get worse. Isn't that just the way of things?
Believe in
It
yourself.
only
Die
goes up.
carefully.
It only goes up.
Hero points are always a good idea.
Yes, that was a good
That
idea.
doubled, so I'm pretty happy with that.
So what's your total fortitude?
That's going to be a 42.
If it's not just okay, 42 also succeeds. All you regulars succeed. I don't think any of you have the success on or critical on fortitudes. So you're all going to take 21 points of bludgeoning damage each. -5, 16 points of bludgeoning damage each. Succeeding and then getting the inspired defense is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Which brings us back around to Raz. You see this thing lashing out almost just in like confusion and fear. And with your knowledge check you've seen, you saw how this has affected these. They're very dumb, but they're not mindless. And this one is pretty wholly uninjured and is just kind of going crazy right now because it doesn't know what's happening.
It's scared. It's very scared, and we're going to put it very much out of its own misery. Raz, I'm going to go ahead and just harmonize myself, just kind of cheering, because at this point,
I've done a lot. I'm a little pooped.
Harmonize in this fight.
Harmonize myself, an Inspired Defense, and a Dirge of Doom with the harmonica. I'm just gonna go through it. Just a really quick swipe, and if for whatever reason that is snaps everyone out of the situation and then brings them back, like it restarts their brain really fast and just calms them. And then I'm gonna back up to the back corner.
I was wondering, like, you gonna stay in it?
He's outside of Roshin's shoving range. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna back and I'm gonna.
It's funny that you need to be in literally opposite corners of this room to be outside the reach of these things.
They're terrifying. That's
Got long hands.
That's gonna be it for Raz.
Okay. Keeping your cantrips going. It's now frightened 1. Kaladar, you are awake and immediately get kind of dragged across the floor back into a crushing embrace. Less against like all of the bones and muscle of this thing and more against like
everybody else.
The waist of Roshin's full plate. Yeah. Just kind of smashing against you.
I missed you, Cal.
Hey guys.
Yeah, you feel Resme's high heel like digging into your spine.
Oh, we're getting cozy.
So I am just grabbed at this point, right?
Regular grabbed.
Does that mean I can make attacks?
Sure can.
Are they
take a -2, but that's it.
-2, all right. Hey buds, this one's it.
Holy rune.
Obviously. And
Forgot stuff.
so yeah, he's gonna just
They're dead.
he's gonna unload actually because he is within melee range. I just knocked my contact out of my face.
So he is frightened 1 and also flat-footed from grabbing. Okay. You just rolling a bunch of attacks.
I am.
Many D20s here, guys. Okay. Got
Yeah,
contact going nuts.
okay.
That's the look of a guy with a contact lens going nuts. I know
Yeah.
that one. I feel that
All
energy.
these, Raz, you're gonna have to read them for me. Is that 6 of them?
Yeah, 6 of them.
All right.
If you just stand in the bathroom for a second, it's fine. I definitely know how that
Nope,
goes.
I'm good. I'll figure it out.
So 3, 4, 6.
Oof. Yeah.
Ooh, you read
2
these.
16s and a 14.
Okay,
Alright.
what does a 14 give you?
14 gives me a 45.
Okay, so those 3 will hit. So you'll land 3 of them.
Okay, great.
Halfsies is good.
Halfsies is good. That's exactly statistically how often you should be hitting a creature of similar level.
Okay, we'll go here. So I hit you 3 times. There are some holy runes in here, if it matters.
Yeah, no, throw them in. They're good. These things have been.
Desanctified?
I don't feel like they should be evil, but they are.
They're desanctified.
Yeah, I guess.
They're
we'll go with that.
abominations and sins against humanity.
Yeah, I guess they are just.
Desanctified.
They're sins against creation, so they're like evil by nature, I
Yeah,
suppose.
they didn't have a choice.
Age of Ashes has this huge like nature versus nurture more than your alignment theme. I don't think these things should be evil, but it says they're evil, so holy runes it is.
I mean,
It's
to be
nature.
fair, they do try to pull you into pieces when they see you.
They're so
but
excited
they're-
to see you.
Yeah.
Look, they're armed and
I mean,
dangerous.
they're aggressive. Like, they are like punching and grabbing you. So like,
They have a childlike mind, and it's a child who doesn't know how to share.
Jen, children are evil. Have you met children?
Yeah.
Holy runes would totally work on it.
I'm the oldest of 5.
66 points of damage.
66 points of damage. All right, hopefully you're.
And I'm gonna pop out real quick just to grab
Yeah, no, you're good. I absolutely understand. Roshin.
Right. So I've had about enough of you. Kind of trying to manhandle, get my weapon down.
Ow, that's my foot, Rat.
Hey, easy there.
Hey,
Look, just try to duck out of the way.
I
And,
can't duck.
To your left, a little.
That's my knee.
Little more. I'm just doing it both at the same time.
Are you flirting with me?
Kornak, you know what? She's gonna split into 2 after images as she tries to cut down through
Split
this
into
thing.
both equally grappled images. Adds another Roshin into the pile.
And she's going to split apart and come down into a power attack. Hopefully one of these will wind up not hitting her friends and hitting the enemy. So we'll see how that goes out. I'm gonna take that 14. That seems pretty likely to do something. So that's gonna be a 48.
48 will hit.
Will hit. I will. Hit is good. Hit is progress. I'll have you know. And I'm gonna take a holy rune on that too.
Yeah, put the holy rune in there.
Cool.
Still don't agree with them being evil, but it is what it is.
They're just sad.
Well, they're
Well,
like,
the one that's sad's dead.
yeah, they're like products of. I guess they've been turned into these evil monsters. I guess it makes sense.
66.
Wait, what?
I was low roll on that power attack
I
earlier.
see that.
Yes.
Okay, that's not quite gonna bring him down, but it is gonna be close.
20's fish.
Speed rune. You don't even need necessarily 20 fish. Oh, you use minus 10, so it's definitely a 20 fish.
Yeah, and 3's totally not gonna
Yeah,
do it.
super not. Miss Resme. Welcome to the Free Hugs Club.
After Kaladar like goes ham. He's now just stroking his head. Like, it's okay, bud. We're gonna send you back to the boneyard real fast.
Roshin is just burying a sword in it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're going. That's what we're doing, though.
Oh, you're not gonna like the way this feels, and neither am I.
You gotta Divelin War him?
I was about to say,
Kind of.
Okay.
Oh, Invarte Fliglerum. And I'm gonna magic missile this thing, and I'm gonna take a lot of damage for doing it because I gotta take away all of the components so that I can do it while he's holding me.
Well, the same
That's
thing you
gonna
had to
be
do
a
with the
lot of
dimension
health.
door.
Yes.
So, yeah, you punch yourself in the face a lot in this fight.
Yes, I
How much
have.
do you take when you sub all the components?
Twice the level, and I'm gonna do a level 7.
I guess
so
it was
I'm
only
gonna
a
go.
level dimension
I'm
door.
gonna go
so
ahead
that's
and.
fine. But it's per component, so you would have taken 16 on dimension door.
Yeah, and now I'm gonna take
Is it at 9th level?
28. No, it's 7th level.
Oh,
so I'm gonna
7th.
take 28 points of damage to do it, but I think it's gonna
Double.
kill
So
him.
you're gonna take 56 points.
No. The doubling is the 7 times 4. The 7 times 2.
7 times 2 is
Times
14.
2.
Oh,
And so
Times
it's
two.
14
because
per
you don't need to
component.
replace the verb.
Yeah, I don't need to replace the verbal.
You take 28. He's absolutely dying to a 7th level magic missile. So what happens here?
So she, since her mouth is all that she has, she's gonna spitball magic missile him and just start spitting out little bullets of magic out of her mouth, and they're just gonna be like.
And they're just gonna spray into this thing as it shudders and slowly releases 1, 2, and all 3 of you as it collapses down to the ground in a heap of whatever it is. With the room finally falling silent for a moment, you're getting a chance to look around and really see the situation, seeing the horrible fate that the guard that ran this way befell. He did not meet a kind end. He was ripped into several pieces. There are a couple of, like the surfaces and legs of smashed tables throughout the room, too. Once there was more furniture in here than just these large glass chambers, but again, it seems to be mostly neglected. But most interestingly of all, on the east side of the room, kind of a kitty corner from where you came in, northeast side, there is clearly another hidden door that leads forward. It's obvious. It's ajar. It's not even all the way closed.
Like a jar, like the rest of them are jars, or just
Thank you. I'm so glad someone else made the joke.
I was thinking the same thing, but I wasn't going to say it. I hit my allotment for the day.
yeah, it's not quite as bad as his joke. You
My
didn't get
joke
up.
is
You didn't get up
grade
from the
A.
table, but
But it's it appears to be the only way through this chamber.
We're gonna have to heal up for a hot second before I go anywhere.
Yes, we are.
Do you have any of those?
Oh, I have tons
Concoctions
of them.
left.
I got lots of them.
Okay, great.
It's okay, guys.
Just
You,
the one, actually. But
you-
we can just keep moving on while we do it.
Yeah.
You would take a brief moment to heal everything up.
Just drink up some loving.
Grab some potions, a couple of quick soother spells. But the door is already slightly open. Like, what if there are bad things behind there? This was not a quiet encounter.
Yeah, that's
surely
true.
they are aware.
Take a peek through that doorway and just look.
Looking inside, you see a much smaller chamber. It leads to a room maybe 10 feet square, which has some very modest accommodations. There is a bed. It's about the same that in the prison cells. It's nice enough, but not fine. There's a small writing table and even a little shelf set in the back, sparsely filled with a couple of books. It's almost a little inn room, and it seems fine enough. And as you open the door, back at the far side, kind of behind the desk, with what looks like the biggest book in the room in one hand, held up over their head defensively, and even as you open the door, they look like they're ready to throw it. Their other arm held up in a bloodied sling, kind of against their chest, is a man. He's got some thick, almost coiled dreadlocks, a couple of inches, spraying out across the dark skin, spraying out from the dark skin of his scalp. His absolutely piercing, flat navy blue eyes and pointed ears, clear indications of a full-blooded elf. And he's done up in what looks to be quite possibly an outfit he's been wearing in here for at least a couple of weeks.
You look rather Xerxes-ish. Would you be the person, political prisoner under here?
In Ekujai, I'm a friend of Nikita. It's okay, we're here to save you.
Oh, what new torture is this?
The type where I am a friend of Nikita.
Have you not done enough, Warden?
Like, look at the ears.
Oh, the warden's real dead back
What do
there,
you
bud.
gain from messing with my mind?
The warden's dead.
Here, you can touch the ears. Here, I'll put
Hi.
on the Ekujai medallion, the one that claimed the friendship medallion.
And that the book is just going to kind of tumble out of his hand.
That's not fake.
That's no way to treat a book.
That's the thing you're concerned about.
As he looks at that, Xerxes trying to process the situation before him. Here, we will end today's episode of The Age of Ashes.
You can take 172 health back.
That's great.
We can figure out healing.
Yeah, that's
that
brings me to full finally.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We found him.
We did it.
We have finally made some big, meaningful strides in promise here. We haven't found the orb. We did get a bunch of shards, which certainly isn't nothing. But here, in front of us now,
Is a smoking hot Fremen.
Nikita's old mentor, a master scholar of the Anima Invocation, an Ekujai who's been in promise for decades, Xerxes of the Leopard Clan. We'll be back next week, everybody. We're doing it. We're streaming 2 weeks in a row.
Are we coming back next week?
Beating the holidays. Yeah, we're coming back next week for
in that
sure.
case, I
Oh yeah, do your thing. Do the thing.
yeah.
It's been a minute. So we
do
can
it.
do it
So
alternating.
He grabs the bottle of good juice from you, and he I don't know, potion. That's the word. My
is
brain's
whiskey.
working.
This is
He
whiskey.
grabs
It's
the bottle
just
of good
whiskey.
juice and goes, "Cheers to your health, boys. Esphus is coming back soon." And as he throws it back like a shot glass, basically, from the bottle, just a bunch of webs cover him. It's as though he poured a bottle of web over himself, and now he is just encased in this webbing.
We'll see you next week, everybody. Same time, same place, 7 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/UGT show. Enjoy your weekends, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Good night.